So yeah, sorry everyone, we're a little bit late today. It is Mindful's fault. But hey there, hi there, ho there, and hey there
Yeah.
to
What did you do for being so late?
oh, just because of work, and then like when I was walking home, like it's really bad in our province right now. So there's like a lot of slush. There's a lot of like just
Oh,
puddles
yeah,
everywhere.
snowstorms for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's like +1 right now, so it's just like it's all freaking melted, right? So and then plus like you have to watch out for drivers, make sure they're not going to splash you.
Have you heard about how
Yeah, I was
Detroit
wondering what the fuck
got
was
like?
happening.
Have you heard about how Detroit got submerged in water
No, I didn't. Like,
because of like an old pipe or whatever it broke,
oh, okay.
and so Detroit got submerged in water. But then because of how freezing it was,
It froze over. Yeah, I
yeah,
heard about that.
it's insane
That's crazy.
to see.
I'll have to look that
Everything's
up.
in ice.
Oh man, I have to look that up then. That's an experience. um yeah, sorry. So yeah, this week we have obviously our bi-weekly recap. Then I didn't get too much into it. But I think JW watched the videos for it. I was going to talk about Marvel Rivals and in regards to the
Oh,
layoffs, right, and all the stuff that was going on. Our other
Yep.
topic we had was about Avowed. So JW got to play that. If you want to see it, definitely look at his Twitch channel. And hopefully maybe on. Well, no, you do have a short up already too on YouTube.
I have two shorts. Yeah.
Oh, is it two now? Oh, nice. Okay, I saw the spider one today. I
Yeah.
think popped up. Um.
Yeah, that's the one I posted today. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then oh yeah, sorry. Then we had remasters and why they might be more helpful than people think. But yeah, before we get into all that, hunting, you joined us this time around. So let's hear. What have you been up to?
yes. Nothing much really. Playing games.
Yeah, what'd you play?
Right now I'm playing Gears of War 3 right now, but before I was playing. Yesterday was playing Minecraft
Oh,
with you guys.
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
It's nice. So you did end up playing Gears. Because yesterday you were talking about jumping back into that series again.
yeah. Cause I jump back and forth sometimes, not sometimes, all the time. I go from like fucking Minecraft to like Batman to Resident Evil to Doom to Gears of War, and sometimes maybe Call of Duty if I feel like it.
I was going to say too, you actually do have something exciting. Maybe it might be easier now to just talk about it instead of typing it all out. But you were telling us about was it Iron Man Armor Wars that you picked up?
Oh yeah, the comic book series from like 1986. Yeah, just got the first part a couple of days ago
Oh, cool.
from eBay. Yeah,
So like, what is the Armor
so I'm
Wars?
done with that.
That's I was curious.
It's basically a bunch of villains, a bunch of like Iron Man villains steal his technology and they make armor from his
Oh,
technology, and he has to go back and fucking take it back. He ends up fighting America, which is basically like he's not America, Captain. He's not Captain America anymore. He's just Captain.
oh,
Ends
okay.
up fighting yeah. I'm trying to remember. He fought Crimson Dynamo, bunch of other fucking villains I forgot. I know he fought the Beetle, Spider-Man villain. Yeah,
Nice. No, that's
I gotta read it again. Yeah,
like, is the story pretty good for it, or that you did read the
it's
book?
pretty good. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know it's a really good story.
Okay. Well, that's cool, man.
Hopefully the movie doesn't suck, but what are you gonna do? It's Marvel.
Like they're gonna make a
50-50,
movie
so
on the
might.
Armor Wars?
Yeah, but what's it called? I don't think Tony Stark's gonna be Robert Downey Jr. is gonna be in it. I think it's gonna I know the villain from Iron Man 2, not Whiplash. Forgot his name. The other guy, Justin Hammers. Yeah, he's gonna be a big part of that movie.
Oh, okay.
War Machine, somebody else, but they might change it. Who knows?
Yeah.
They always fucking do that. They always change the story.
Well, yeah, I was just
Like
gonna
fucking
say,
Deadpool and Wolverine.
why what was with
'Cause
Deadpool?
originally was they were gonna have Ghost Rider in it, but they fucking changed it. It had
Oh,
concept pictures of like Ghost Rider fighting the Deadpool corpse. Same with Daredevil, the Ben Affleck Daredevil. Before they killed him off.
That wasn't bad. I
screen.
didn't mind that movie. It was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Except Johnny Storm. That kind of fucking. I was happy when I saw him, and then he fucking died right after.
That was
But the
great.
part they
I
show at
love
the
that
end,
movie.
yeah, the best was at the end when they show him cursing out. Forgot her name. The
Yeah.
bald chick. That was hilarious.
Yeah, at the end of the credits, yeah.
So JW, I know you got
Yes.
I know you got a big chunk, obviously, to cover. But yeah, how's Marvel Rivals treating you for you jump into that, or did you play anything other than the big Avowed?
I played a bit of Ghost of Tsushima,
Oh, nice. You made more
but
progress.
yes, progressing. I think I'm close to the end. Like I'm pretty sure I've ended all the side quests, so I'll be moving towards the main quest. And but yeah, no. So I've mostly been playing Marvel Rivals and Avowed, which I have streamed both. And well, let's start with Marvel Rivals. It'll be quicker.
Yeah, I hear you.
So new update. Well, do you want the update or do you want the layoffs?
No. Just talk about your time there, because weren't you rocking a certain Fantastic Four member and killing it?
Yeah. I mean, are you talking about me getting gold to get the Invisible Woman skin?
No, I was referring more to Human Torch, right? Because there was the update on Marvel Rivals. Also
Right.
that took place.
Okay. So yeah. So for some reason they decided to do, instead of a like season 1, season 2 update, decided to do season 1 update, season 1.5 update, like a big update in the middle. Like even in competition, they restarted the competition, made some changes, and there's a new skin to win. So now in Marvel Rivals, there's the Human Torch. Speaking of Johnny, and the thing that has been added. So now the full team of the Fantastic Four is in Marvel Rivals. And again, they're all really good, just like all the other characters they've put in. They're all really good, really interesting.
Really powerful.
Yeah, the thing, of course, is a tank that like boulders in and just pops up everyone in his way. And
He's a beast, like I
Human Torch
said.
is more,
Shit.
yeah,
He's just a powerhouse. Like I said, the few times I got to fight against him there, it's like that constant aggressive charge is just like perfect for a tank, and he nails that ability really well. I get almost like similar to like how Wolverine just is constantly at you.
yeah. Well, he's super aggressive, but I don't feel it's funny because he is tanky, but I feel he loses more health than some other tanks for some reason.
Wow.
So so I think it's better if you have of course a healer close by, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, he's really good, and he can jump in, jump out in multiple ways.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
example, you charge in, and you have like a skill where you jump to an ally, and it gives a defense, like a buff for a couple of seconds.
Ooh.
So you can like charge in, then look behind you, and jump off the point if like it gets too much heat, right?
Yeah.
So he's very a lot of movement for a tank, yeah. And there's Johnny Storm, where he's more of a crowd control character. He's really good. He puts zones and fires everywhere, basically. So he puts he can throw like balls of fire, and then link those balls of fire, which create a zones, and anything outside and on this zone is no everything inside. I mean, the zone gets damaged basically. And so you can do a lot of crowd control because most of the objectives are like capture the point or protect the convoy. So this guy will really like make you run away, and cool skills with like making tornadoes of fire and No, really cool addition, Johnny Storm. Like he really brought in a new ways of playing, which is cool.
See, I'm so
There's
excited to
also
like see you play as him because like I was telling you, right? Those matches I had, I was so disappointed. And then like when you were like telling me like, no man, you played against shit people because like this is how it should have went. I was like, man, this is like night and day. Like it was literally like they were like pew 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 and then like firestorm and I was like, okay, that's not that impressive of a character. Uh, but yeah, it must have been just
yeah. Then I was
really
like,
bad
let me show you how it's done, and then we wrecked the next team with him,
fun. Yeah, because they definitely
and
weren't like they weren't cornering you like you were describing, right? Like they were. It was more like they would just fire off a few, whatever flame balls, and then like I said, every once in a while you'd see the firestorm, but it was easy to dodge it. So yeah, I'm excited to see your playthrough with him.
well, that's because most people don't link up their fireballs correctly. You're supposed to make a bigger zone so that the people inside is hurt. But most
Yeah,
people are using it as a projectile
e-
more than anything else.
exactly. Yeah,
And his basic is almost like a shotgun of fire too. So there's a lot of plays you can do with him. So making the zone and igniting it by launching onto it and then using your basic blaster fire, whatever. Anyway, he's pretty cool, and like no character really plays the way he does. So that's very nice. There's also a new map for a convoy where you have to free the squirrel god in the Nordic mythology, Ratatoskr or whatever he's called.
yeah,
And yeah, no, it's a pretty good map. I like it. Um, yeah, I have nothing bad to say with this update. It's all very cool.
yeah.
With also a new event to get more premium currency and chrono tokens for your battle pass. So that's cool as well. So
Um,
that's my update on the Marvel Rivals.
Speaking of Marvel, there, sorry, I just Prison Gamer was shouting out a few times in here for me to let. Well, Hunting, you got two messages, I guess. The Prison Gamer is saying you should join us in the backlog challenge for beating video games. Yeah, I can tell you about that in Discord if you want to know about it. And then she was also saying, did you hear that the Deadpool guy is getting canceled?
Oh yeah,
Pretty old news, but yeah, I heard about that. Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds is getting
Okay. No,
canceled.
Prison
Yeah,
Gamer just curious if you knew about that.
yeah,
yeah. It's the whole thing linked to Ryan Reynolds' wife, right? Like in her movie, she went "This Is Us" or whatever. Are you talking about this Deadpool guy or the guy that created Deadpool?
no, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Oh, okay.
Because there's another thing where the creator of
Yeah,
Deadpool.
him and somebody else are going through like some legal battle to see who owns the rights for Deadpool, and a lot of fucking Deadpool shit got taken off like the store. The game got delisted, and it's like really rare. So if you go on eBay right now and buy it for the Xbox One, it's like $100, like
Wow.
brand new.
He's also been very vocal of how much he hates Kevin Feige, the guy running the Marvel, universe. So,
Yeah,
uh, there's a bunch of stuff linked to Deadpool right now.
Oh, wow. Okay. I guess I completely missed that.
I'm pretty sure the actress for She-Hulk. My bad, sorry.
What?
Oh, Mindful was saying something.
No, 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 buddy. You go ahead. I was just, yeah.
Uh, oh yeah, so, the actress who played She-Hulk in the fucking TV show, she started saying shit about Ryan too. Because I
Oh,
guess she was supposed to be in the movie She-Hulk, but she got cut or some shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was upset about it. I don't blame Ryan. I would too,
me too.
and then
to be honest.
Solarial was adding on saying that. So what I'm hearing is Disney wants any future Deadpool movies to flop because Deadpool is not meant to be a children's movie.
Most likely, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when the first movie came out, people were taking their kids to see it, and Ryan went out on Twitter or whatever, started saying that it's not a kids movie, it's for adults. Deadpool's not a fucking kid. I get it, he's a superhero, but he's not, for kids.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
He's not
it's
a kid
dumb because
superhero like
it's written
Spider-Man.
in big R, restricted. You
Yeah,
know, there's the stamp there. There's no reason to miss that.
yeah. I mean, if you've seen or read the comic book, it's like fucking bad.
And But even if you didn't, it's like on every poster there's the R rating, there's the red band trailer, there's like, what are you doing? Like, I think some people are being hypocrites here.
Yeah.
It's like when with Jim Carrey when he was in that movie Kick-Ass 2, and a lot of people he got a lot of backlash for it because he was talking
Why?
about fucking. What happened?
I
No.
said why?
Yeah. Why?
Because he talked about something about like being against violence, and he was in a movie about violence.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Wow. That's so
Yeah,
lame.
fucking stupid.
I didn't even know Jim Carrey was in Kick-Ass too. I don't think I've seen that one yet.
Yeah.
He's a Colonel Stripes, whatever the fuck his name is.
I think I only saw the first one. It was pretty good though. But yeah, sorry, Prison Gamer just wanted to shout you out and ask you a question. Sorry, GW, you go ahead, buddy. So you were talking about Avowed.
Well, I haven't yet, no, but
About to, yeah.
okay. So I played Avowed also, and when I first started it was, I was sort of like mixed about it. I was like, I thought it was a bit meh, you know, and but I also did like, I ran off and explored because I'm too curious, so I have to like look around, and I was, exploring, doing side stuff, whatever. But then I really started concentrating on the main quest at some point, and like, I don't want to spoil it because like it's really like surprising when it happens. But when that moment happens, basically when you reach the Paradise City, it gets really interesting, and like it really like opens up the game even more. Like the narrative for me currently is like holding it together, because a lot of Avowed has like good ideas or features that I like, but then is pulled back by something I don't like, most of the game. So
Yeah.
that's why I used to be mixed, but now I have like, I've found like a good kit, a good equipment, and I'm liking the narrative, the story. So I really want to see what happens next. So I've been really liking it now, and well, yeah, essentially Avowed is a bit like Skyrim in the sense that it's a first-person fantasy game where you can build your character in the way you want, basically. But it's much more streamlined than Skyrim. It's not that more. It's not. Don't expect Elder Scrolls going in, because it's not a big sprawling open world like Elder Scrolls.
Yeah,
It's more like open levels.
I'd say that's one of the things I
And
kept hearing, right? That it keeps getting compared to Skyrim. And then like people like yourself, right, that put in the hours, they all say that same like opposite opinion. It's like, no, it's not trying to be Skyrim, and it's just not being compared to Skyrim all the time.
well, to be fair, it sort of looks like it to start for one, and two. I think the devs have talked about, made some comparisons or inspirations from Skyrim. So I don't blame them. I think I'm blaming more the marketing
Yeah,
for it to make it seem that way. Another thing I'll blame the marketing for is that the game doesn't look that interesting, of how they marketed the game. Like, it doesn't really look that nice.
absolutely. Yeah,
But once you play it, you launch the game and you enter this world, it's much, much more beautiful than what they marketed. Like, I don't know what the marketing department is doing at Xbox, but they should like get cut and be changed completely for someone else. Because like, I'm wondering if like they're running like the game like on an Xbox Series S, and it looks like ass, and then you go in on PC and it looks better. I don't know, but in the marketing, it doesn't look that good. I was shocked at how better it looked once I launched the game and went into it.
yeah,
And so I was talking about the design choices. Like, there seems to be like a struggle. For example, I'll give a simple example, but where you have like sort of books you can find, grimoires, where they have a set of skills in there. You have multiple skills, that you can use without putting points in your wizard tree. Okay. So essentially, you have free skills, right?
Okay.
Which is cool. But if you have one where all the skills are from skills that are level 10s, then you can't really use it. You will even find books where half of it you can use and the other half you can't use, which makes it not very useful, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
So, so in that sense, it's almost like they tried to be super flexible by putting a feature like that, but they've limited it because they're I guess I don't know they want to make it more hard fair. I'm not sure. They limited it with a level gated aspect around it. So that kind of sort of dichotomy between those two things are like present for a lot of design decisions in this game, which is why at first I think I was a bit middling, you know, because I liked something, but then I found something else that made me like it less, and it kept doing that for like every decisions, you know. For example, there's a camp, a bit like in Baldur's Gate 3, where you can make camp and talk to your companions, but it's not very useful because you can because as you progress through the story, they have new stuff to say, but there's nothing much to talk to them about. Like you can't date them or anything. You know, it's not like there's a progression really with your companion. You can know about their backstory, but you know, it's nothing. Otherwise, nothing much, or at least as of now.
Oh,
But
okay.
and the camp, and you can upgrade your equipments at your camp, but that's pretty much it. I find it useless because you have like these big giant sprawling towns that don't have much in it except quests and some vendors here and there. They could have made the crafting be put in that town to have more stuff to do in that town, and I would have put that you can talk to your companions anytime and not just at camp. You know, I find
Yeah.
the camp feature is sort of tacked on, and I'm even wondering if it's not because of Baldur's Gate 3 they've put it in all honesty.
See, it's funny you say that too, because that is another comparison that people use with Avowed, right? They compare it to Baldur's Gate 3 and what it missed out on, I guess, that game did better.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't be because it's not the same.
Yeah.
Like as much the world as the writing, everything is not the same. But that camp feature is similar. So I would let it pass for a feature. But if they're comparing the whole games to the two, it's not comparable.
That's what I kind of figured, because there was a few things, right? Oh, hey, pizza.
Again, sorry.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah. So
There was like a few.
there's
Yeah, yeah. Okay, the big one, I guess, that everyone would be curious about, and it's great that you played it on PC, is the bugs and crashes true? Like, have you experienced many of them? It didn't seem like it when I was watching you, but
as of now, no. I've had no bugs. I think I've had
okay.
maybe one small issue where my character sort of slightly went in the ground and couldn't get out, but after some maneuvering, I jumped out. Like he got stuck in the ground or something. But except that, I haven't seen any issues really.
It's so funny you say that, because I watched about 3 different podcasts, right? They're all talking about Avowed, and they all said that too. Like people that have actually, I said, put hours into it, right? Said they only came across 1 or 2 bugs, and one of them, or sorry, 2 of them were items that were you couldn't grab them; they sunk into the ground. And another player, yeah, said something about being stuck into an object, right?
But here's
but
the
it was,
thing.
it's as simple as.
I'm still at the start though. What I've heard is that a lot of the bugs are much later in the game, which makes sense because they probably worked on the beginning first and the ending last, right?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I know 2 of the podcast hosts who did finish the game, and yeah, both said they came across 2 bugs, but nothing game breaking. It would
Okay,
just
cool.
load your previous save, and you're good, right?
And I am playing on
I'm-
the Game Pass version. I haven't paid for full price, and I don't think it would be worth full price. In all honesty, like I would have a hard time recommending this game full price to someone. But I am loving my time so far. There's
Yeah.
it's cool because you can find unique items, unique weapons, equipment, and for example, like a unique dag that like does fire with every hit. But then you upgrade it, and now it does explosive fire with every hit, meaning that it puts fire on the enemies around as well. So like now I have like this dagger that just explodes at on every hit on everyone, and it's like a slew of damage and of like magic. Because I use my build I did was magic using with one hand weapon, and with some skills of fighter and some skills with wizard. Because yeah, I didn't talk about this. There's no really classes. There's like three main tree abilities, but it's not like you need to select a sort of path and stick to the path. It's more like all these skills from every tree unlocks at level 5, let's say.
Okay.
So once you reach level 5, all these skills from each of these trees are unlocked, and you can put points in them in any way you want. So you can have a variation of builds and mix up fighter, mage, whatever. I would even recommend actually that you mix at least magic with something else, because there's a lot of magic stuff into it. You know, there are wands, there are grimoires, there are a bunch of magic focused weapons, you know.
I was gonna say, yeah, the the other ones that they had was compared to Skyrim, compared to Baldur's Gate, but you already went over that. It's really cool to hear them say that you are enjoying the story now, and I wonder if maybe that's why some people didn't stick with it, because I did hear story sucked, but again, that was like the vast majority of people. But then when I listened to the podcasts, like 3 different ones about people that actually played the game, their opinion was completely
Well,
different, kind of like yours.
I think the intro is not great. Like it doesn't suck, but it's not great either. And it sorts of take you a while. Anyway, the way I played it, because here's how I played it. I have a problem with curiosity, so I keep like being distracted by stuff I want to climb or what side quests or stuff like that. I have trouble keeping on the main quest often. Okay, in
Okay.
open games, open worlds, open levels, whatever. And so you come in onto a port, you talk to a couple of NPCs, you take on a couple of side quests, and then the way I played is that I kept finding stuff, I kept finding caves, boxes, and doing side quests. So it took me a while before I actually progressed to the point where I find the story really gets on, really like drives. And so I think they should have maybe cut something a bit at the beginning, or that I would recommend people to do only this main quest until they reach Paradise, and then go wild on all the other stuff. Because this is really where the games shine more, and that you get to see the big town and all that.
That's interesting. Huh.
The
I mean,
intro
I'm
is a
still
bit
interested.
long,
I
I
still like
think, and that is why a lot of people maybe like start off, do a couple of stuff, they do a bit at the beginning of the story, and then they're like, yeah, okay, it's
Not for me.
something, you know.
Yeah. And I guess the other one I had for you was, because I know we were going on the podcast about this quite often, was how was that combat? Like, how did that combat feel?
It's good. No, it feels really good, especially once you find a kit that you like. Like the hits feel really crunchy. It's like there's nothing.
Like,
The only thing I would say is I don't like the guns, because there are guns, but
okay.
there are like muskets and
I was
stuff like that.
surprised by
So
that.
it takes really long to load. Now I know that in the ranger skill tree you can have skills that it loads faster or have more power and all that, but it seems something that you would do maybe later, because at the start the guns sort of suck compared to all the other weapons you can get.
I was gonna say, because we compared to a few different games there. So were we right on anything? Was it close to Fable's combat? Is it close to Witcher's combat? Like, is it its own thing?
Um,
Like that play style, I guess, of combat, not the particular actions.
uh, it's hard to say. I would say, it's close to Skyrim, but it's better than Skyrim.
Yeah.
Like it's more
Okay.
actiony. It's not. You're not constantly menus. Compared to Skyrim.
I said this is funny, right? Because like these are all the points that people had questions about, and like this goes right back to your marketing, right? This is how bad the marketing was for this game, because like
Yeah.
at the time it looked like it was going to be like Fable, like okay, I'm using spells, I'm using a sword, right? And no, it's like the opposite end of the scale, right? It's a completely different game on its own.
I would
Yeah,
say
just
the
yeah.
closest, it's pretty much its own thing, but the closest that it is probably Skyrim in the sense you can grab any weapon, use any weapon you want, and mix and match. You can decide what weapon you have in each hand, and you have like two kits you can switch between. Um, you have that first
That's
person
cool.
or third person you decide, and it's that thing of you choose a couple of spells depending on what you have. You have ranged weapons and close quarters weapons, and the closest would be Skyrim, but I would say it's pretty much its own thing because I find it hits much better than Skyrim. Like the hits like really hit well. Like they're and it's more actiony than Skyrim. You have a lot of potions you can use as well during combat, and
Nice.
yeah.
And then the last one I had for you was the big one. So you've played New Vegas, you've played Outer Worlds, right?
Yep.
Does this feel like a step up? Are they taking the good qualities of those previous games and improving upon it? Or do you feel like this is
No,
not on track and they regressed?
no. I think actually that's the problem with Obsidian is that often their games are great because of the writing. The writing does all the heavy lifting. And the story is great, but I don't find that the writing in the dialogues and in the screenplay, I guess, is as strong as their previous games. I think they're weaker actually. And even sometimes it's weird because it feels like it should be maybe a darker game or at least a more serious game, but your companions and the people all have these like sarcastic, snarky dialogue that you would like maybe hear like in the outer world, which is
Oh,
weird,
okay.
especially where the camera is placed, because your companion's gonna talk or whatever, and then he's looking directly at the camera, like if he's looking at you, but like it gives the feeling as if you were in a sitcom, you know.
Yeah.
For example, like I don't know, let's say it goes like oh, I can't believe you're here. I should have killed you. And then your companion turns toward the camera and, well, you don't see that every day. Now I can imagine the laugh, the laughs in the background. So stuff like
Yeah.
that really like it's sort of weird. Like it doesn't feel like it should be that kind of writing for some reason.
Oh,
Like the
that's
Outer
too
Worlds
funny.
is like a complete parody. So it's a hilarious
Yeah.
and it works. uh, New Vegas, it works as well. The writing that is in that, but for some reason, I don't find that it works well with this. But the story, as of now, is super interesting. Like the narrative of it is surprising, and I'm lit. I want to see more of it. I want to go back to it, and see where it all goes. But even in the side quest, I haven't found yet a side quest that was that interesting. There's some weird ones
Yeah.
here and there, but there's no side quest where I was like, oh my god, this is so good, so cool, or whatever. So I mean,
No, I mean, at
it
least the
remains to
story's
be
getting
seen
better
because
though.
I'm still at the start. I've played, I don't know, maybe 8 hours, but I'm still like at the beginning of it, really.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. Okay, I was just super excited to hear your thoughts on them, especially I said compared it to the previous two games. I was hoping they picked up the bar, but that's okay. I mean, if the story does get better, then it's still worth it to go
Well,
through
you
it.
know, the gameplay is much more fluid than their previous games. That's for sure. You know, and it
Okay.
looks better and all that. So there are, you know, it's not like they're not improving. There are improvements. It's just I find the thing that they used to be strong at and did all the heavy lifting has now sort of downgraded with this title, and it sort of makes me scared for the Outer Worlds too. Like they're not, it's not the same writers. I don't, I say that I'm not sure. They're separate projects, right? It doesn't mean it's going to be the same, but it does scare me that it's not maybe as good. So
Yeah, because see, like what I was hoping is like, I don't know how they'd implement it, right? But like I said, the things that were standing out to me in New Vegas because I didn't get to play Outer Worlds yet, was like the factions, right? I thought that was a really cool mechanic, and I was kind of hoping you'd say that maybe they'd have something similar to that,
oh
like there'd
man,
be,
that
you
no,
know,
I'm
like
super disappointed about that actually. Okay, so here's
yeah,
here's a bit about the story. You're a god, like someone that has been. You were born and touched by the gods, or you were touched by the gods in the womb, and you're born with a weird affliction, right? So you have abilities, you have, you know, whatever stuff. So you are like you're part of the empire, and you are the envoy to the empire. You're sent by the empire to mediate the the talks between, well, not necessarily the talks, but the mediate between the people living at the living lands that do not want to assimilate to the empire and the empire. So
okay,
so there are multiple decisions to be had here, but I find that it's lacking because they explained this to you, but it's lacking you the I find it's very one-sided, you know. It's very much, you
okay,
know, the empire is bad, and you sort of feel it in the writing that, oh well, the poor rebels and all that. I wish it was more gray, or that they made you maybe more attached at the empire at the beginning when you start in some way. So once you get to the living lands, uh, you're sort of pulled between decisions of what you should do, you know? And
yeah, yeah. That's what I was kind of hoping to hear.
I was hoping as well that, like, I was thinking you should also have like a reputation meter towards the empire, because
Yeah,
you, as the envoy, you represent the empire, right? Of the so your action will reflect on the empire. So there should be a meter or a system of some kind where your reputation with the empire or with the rebels, or, you know, something similar like that, there, which there is in the outer world. I'm not sure why this isn't here, because this would have been a perfect game to have that. It would have been so integral to the story and gameplay, you know? So that's disappointing for
yeah.
sure.
And like I said, to have those like consequences for your actions, right? To have a faction or a side, whatever you want to label them as, to have, you know, negative or positive
Well, there
impacts
are
on it.
consequences in actions, but uh, like there's missing, yeah, that sort of representation of the teams, you know, the representation of the
Yeah,
empire, representation of rebels, etc., etc.
yeah. Like I said, that's one thing I thought they did really well. I'm hoping Outer Worlds has a little bit of their own version of that too.
Well, the
'Cause I
first
thought
one
that was kind of
does.
does it? Okay, nice. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, because I thought that was a really cool mechanic, and I think they did it really well, at least in the one I played for New Vegas.
It's not as good as New
Uh,
Vegas, but they do have a similar, more streamlined version in the Outer Worlds.
Wait,
nice.
I'd rather play New Vegas.
Sorry, lady. What's that, hunting?
I said I'd rather play New Vegas, to be honest. Seems like a better game.
Oh, they're both
Fair
great
enough.
for different reasons.
That's true too, but I rather
Um,
like New Vegas.
no, it's fair enough. I'm loving it right now. Like I told JW before, I used to dislike New Vegas. Out
Yeah,
of the
it's
three that
fine.
I played for Fallout.
I
But yeah, no,
think
I
first
I love it now.
Fallout, no, it's really fun. I've beat it like 3 times. Actually, when I say beat it, I mean I didn't get to the part. I mean I was on the part for Hoover Dam, but I didn't choose not. I choose not to do it. I chose not to do it because I just wanted to, like, play the game.
Right?
Like in
Absolutely,
Fallout
yeah.
4,
No, I regret
you
doing it.
can't go back to it, so I just choose not to do
Yeah,
Hoover Dam. See if I know there's mods out there that let you like actually explore after you beat the game, but that sucks. But it's only on PC. I wish you could get mods on Xbox, but you can't.
Nope.
Yeah, I think it's only the newer ones, right? Like Skyrim and Fallout 4 that they added mods finally on console.
Yeah.
Well, Baldur's Gate 3 as well. They made a whole like custom thing where you console players can have all sorts of mods, but it's not it. There's still some mods that you can't. That is only available on PC because they're really like remodels, remaking stuff, you know. But it's still really cool that when companies do this, they integrate mods for the console as well.
And I was gonna say we have a lady of here and there. She's kind of thinking of buying Avowed. And so JW, I guess is your final thoughts. Is it worth it, or is it better just to go with Game Pass?
I would, yeah, I don't think it's worth full price. It depends what you're looking for. Actually, I would say
think
if
you
you're
try Game
looking
Pass.
for, yeah, you can try it on Game Pass for sure, because you know Game Pass is like the new renting now, right? You want to rent something, you go on Game Pass.
Absolutely.
But
Yep.
if you really want to buy it or whatever, if you're looking for an interesting story that will lead you on, I think it could be worth it. If you're looking for something where it's all about, I don't know, the exploration or the gameplay of like wrecking enemies, and it's not it. I don't think. I would say personally, I would wait for a sale for it to be lower. You know, not full price, but because full price here in Canada means like what, $80-$90. You know, so I would probably
Yeah.
wait for something more like 40-50. You know, dollars Canadian. And
I don't like buying stuff full price.
and maybe like my sensibilities of buys have been different these days as well, because if you think about it, we've had multiple games now that have been selling less pricey, that are more like 50-60 Canadian dollars, you know, like Helldivers 2 and others. And I think
Yeah.
like they've maybe reconsider buying games full price now, you know. For example, there's Lost Soul Aside, you know, that was announced among a bunch of other games that will come out around the same time. And now I'm looking at the pricing and I'm like, I might not buy it, you know, because it's full price and only digital. I might buy instead the another game like Clair Obscure Expedition 33, because this one is 60 Canadian dollars, you know. So I think there's like a rearranging of the prices that's happening that will cost maybe games that are now full price. That is in the works. So anyway, all this to say, it could be worth it, but I have a hard time recommending it at full price. I would say wait for a slight sell, you know.
Yeah, she said thank you. Said she'll wait for the Steam summer sale. And I was gonna say I agree with you too, Hunting and JW. Like I hope a lot of gamers start looking at that cost of a game and maybe, you know, like you said, vouching more for the $60 price tag or the lower ones. Because yeah, there's no reason to start going above 100. I don't
Yeah,
think
for
any
sure.
game is ever worth. Like it's just too stupid, right? When I heard that they want to do that for Grand Theft Auto, I don't know.
Oh,
I
that was
just
a rumor where we don't even know.
yeah. Well,
That Star Wars game
yeah.
that came out, the one where you play as that
Which,
girl.
which
and
one?
Like you know the one you play as that girl? I forget the name of it. It came out like last year, I think. Plays like some girl or whatever.
Stellar Blade?
Is it? I can't remember.
Well, I know there's a girl one. I'm just trying to think of girl games that came out last
You know
year.
the game with there's a girl? Oh yeah, for sure. There are many games with the girl though.
Like what was she doing hunting?
Outlaws, Star Wars Outlaws. Yeah, they wanted like $100 for like the
Oh!
main.
Oh yeah,
main
well,
game.
that's because Ubisoft are greedy fucks, but you know.
Oh shit. Yeah, and they fucking remove all their they delist all their games, and you have to go on like some fucking website to like buy like a pirated version or some fucking Steam key to get it.
Yeah, no, Ubisoft are not doing well right now. Like their whole Their whole
Yeah.
game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, has been leaked. A lot of people are playing it now, and it's just before the release date. That's insane. There's like many copies out there. People are
They don't
playing
give a
it.
shit anymore. They don't give a shit anymore.
Well, I feel like someone is sabotaging the company from the inside. It's insane.
Probably somebody knows.
It's
Probably
just some
somebody's like
bitter
sick and tired of their
employee.
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. It kind of reminds you of Office Space. Remember that guy with the red stapler? And he talks about like burning down the fucking office.
Yeah.
Oh,
reminds
that's
me
too
of.
funny.
So what about you, Pizza? What have you been playing?
Yeah, buddy.
Honestly, I've been playing like probably only 3 games this whole month, and that's just because I've been, just doing stuff in real life and just working. So, Division 2, that's pretty much the game I play pretty much every day now. If it ain't that, I'm playing Crash Bandicoot or what other game was it? Um, Rogue Trader, the Warhammer game. So it's only those three I'm playing
Oh,
nowadays. That's just because I don't have much time. But yeah, nothing. I guess Road Trader is kind of new, but other than that, though, I'm playing the same games I was playing 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
how is the Warhammer game though?
I was about to say, how is it? Yeah,
Oh,
'cause my dad wanted to get
I
it.
mean, I like it. For some reason, I thought it was going to be like a top-down fighting game or like a shooting game. It's not. It's basically what game can I compare it to? It's basically like not Path of Exile. What's the other one called? Oh, it's like Pillars of Eternity, except it's just in a Warhammer skin. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
fun.
that one's on my wish list. I want to play this
Okay.
game actually.
Oh yeah, it's on Game Pass. Well, it's on. I think it's on Game Pass for PC and Xbox. Yeah. Um,
Nice.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's nice, I mean, it's nice if you enjoy reading because that's pretty much all you do in those kind of games. Which it's just I
Oh,
like
that
it,
sounds fun.
Yeah, that's kind of the main thing I enjoy about those RPG kind of games. Is just reading this lore and the stories and kind of just getting to understand what's going on, like just in that universe. But yeah, it's been a good game. Y'all talking about Avowed earlier. I never even touched that game. I don't really feel like touching that game. And yeah, I'm just waiting for the new Tony Hawk game, well, the remaster to come out.
Oh, you beat me. I was gonna ask you if you're excited about that.
Oh yeah, I didn't know they were doing it. I wanted to
I
go to
completely forgot
Twitter
about that
just
game.
because definitely just seeing what's going on. Then out of nowhere, the first post I see is, they're working on the new
Yep.
remaster. So that kind of like got me by surprise.
Yeah, they have the little countdown now for it too.
Yeah, I never
Oh
really got
yeah,
into
so
like
I'm
Tony Hawk
excited
that
to
much.
see it. I kind of thought that they were just never gonna do it. It just, looked like it's just. I think when I heard about how, there was no real updates going on with 1 and 2, just in general, it's like, okay, well, hey, it's done. They had their run, they did their thing, so that's just how it is. I'll let the game be the game, and if they make a new Tony Hawk game, then I mean, like I'll play it, but I wasn't really like expecting anything just coming up soon. So that was a good surprise.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was pretty surprising. And sorry, Hunty, which one did you play for Tony Hawk?
No, I never really got into
Or
Tony
you...
Hawk.
Oh, you didn't like those ones?
I mean, it's didn't like it. Just never I got it. Never got really got a chance to play it.
No, I played the first and the second one, and yeah, they're just. I hope. I'm assuming that's what they are remastering. I think it's 1 to 4,
Because I
if
know
I'm
I
right,
played
Pizza,
Skate.
or maybe I read it
I played
wrong.
Skate. I never really
Yeah.
played Tony Hawk.
So yes, right. So they remastered. I guess they remade, or I guess they're remakes in this case. They remade 1 and 2, so now they're remaking 3 and 4.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
that's what it is.
and people were thinking that it's gonna be like just a few maps to the base game, which I mean that's cool. Like I don't mind it because you know, um, Pro Skater 2 and 3 are nothing different. It's just you're adding a few a few mechanics, but the core game is kind of the same, you know. So for most people, they were just thinking, okay, you know, just put in the mostly the green maps into 1 and 2 and then call it a day. Which that would still be cool. People will like it
Yep.
because the remake does a lot of things where they add like different mechanics from other games. So it's not really like the it's not a one-to-one copy of it. You know, they took some liberties with it pretty much. So, you know, it's a full game coming out on its own, no DLC. So I mean, I'm excited to see it, especially since Pro Skater 4, it doesn't really follow that, you know, every level has a 2-minute timer. It's more like it's free roam pretty much around the map. So there's more freedom to kind of do your own thing. But you know, that's we'll have to see how it looks. Although I'm not worried about it because I mean, you know, I don't know if it's going to be the same team working on it or not, but I don't think that this one will be different. I think it's going to be the same team. Maybe they got the people back from I think it's Toys from Bob. I think that's the one that went to Activision or
Well,
Call of Duty.
I know right now they're just really focusing on the skaters. Like I think it was either today or yesterday, they had a post and it was like all the old farts holding their skateboards. I was like, this is so sad. They're like, we brought the team back. I was like, they can't even skateboard anymore. They need canes. Come on.
They're gonna break their ankles.
Yeah, yeah, I know that, you know, I mean, you know, kind of seeing just the people who are there now. Like, I mean, I'm surprised that they're still. Well, I guess I'm not too surprised. I mean, I think like the oldest person there is like Tony. No, not Tony.
Yeah.
I think Steve is the oldest
Oh,
person. But yeah, you know, like
maybe. I know
pushing.
Cody's old.
Yeah, he's put like they're pushing up to like what 50. You know, like mid 50s now. So yeah, you know, they've
I
been
love
doing
when they
that.
go to like skate parks and shit. They try to like show off and like, Tony will just do like a simple flip now. It's just like,
Yeah,
I still got it. It's like, no,
yeah,
you don't.
he's doing a lot now. I mean, like, you know, I think his last video that I saw was just him at a park, and like this man, he was doing, you know, like he was doing his same old vert skating, doing grabs in the air,
Yeah.
like, you know, 360, 720. Like he was, I mean, he can, he skates, he skates like he did when he was probably like, you know, X Games, when he was doing like the street leagues, like he still has it. So I mean, I'm glad that he's still doing what has to do, and I'm glad that you know he can kind of say, "Hey, look, we're making a new game. You know, we're gonna push it out in a few months, really. I guess coming out. Um, I think they said May. I'm not sure, but I know that
I think it was, yeah.
the trailer comes out next week. So you know, I'm guessing that maybe they've been working on it, kind of just behind the scenes, and they didn't really, you know, they didn't really say, "Hey, look, guys, we're." It's kind of just, you know, to work. So, you know, I'll be excited to see it. And yeah, that's really what's on my radar right now. It's just that game, and that's really it. Because
Yeah.
nothing else that's like in my interest is coming out anytime soon. Like it's either a game that's been canceled or a game that is so niche that, you know, to see a proper like standalone game of it will be pretty much, you know, just wishing on a star.
Well, I said when I saw that post, you were the first person I thought of. I was like, oh, I know some guy's gonna be super excited. Because I know
Oh yeah,
I say hunting, you were mentioning skate series. If you don't know, Pizza's played a
Yeah,
lot
I
of those.
played a little bit. Oh,
No, go ahead,
yeah.
buddy.
That's pretty much you know that's what I've been playing for really since I was like what 5 years old. I just been playing nothing but skate games. So you know, for me, it's just like the more I can play it, the better.
Absolutely.
And you know, and it's nice to know that you know it's nice to know that there are still making skate games because you know it's not exactly a popular franchise it used to be. It's kind of just like, we'll put a game on and then if people want to play it, they can. But yeah, it's kind of died down lately.
Um, before I get into probably the bigger meat of the podcast, I was just going to go around quickly and just touch back on the one topic that we had there about remasters and why they might be more helpful than you think. So I've seen a lot of like interesting stuff on Twitter in the past week about remasters. And then like I was telling JW originally, I didn't know this, but apparently the Star Wars was it 4 to 6 when that one got remastered for the theaters. I know completely different element, right? But I like the idea of it. When those got remastered for the theaters, they used the money for that to actually fund episodes 1 to 3. So that same logic, right? I mean, I guess that's what the gaming industry is trying to do. Sometimes it's obviously greed, sometimes it's not that, right? But just like with those kind of concepts in place, do you guys personally think that remasters are helpful for a series? Like what's your thoughts and opinions on that?
Me,
Yeah, you go
sorry.
first, buddy. No, you go first.
Me, in my opinion, no, I don't want to talk over you. I don't want to fucking. It's fine. But yeah, me in my opinion, I think remakes are great. Like Gears of War Ultimate Edition was pretty good. I'm still waiting for the Gears of War 2 Ultimate Edition, but that's probably never gonna happen. But yeah, sometimes remakes could be good or bad, or just fucking straight up looking for a quick buck. Like House of the Dead remake was pretty bad. I heard it was really shitty.
GTA
Um,
remaster.
yeah, that was pretty bad. Um, what else should I think? Fucking Dead Rising remaster I heard was okay, but some people didn't like it because it was censored. They had to
Yeah,
change a lot of shit
Oh,
from the
that's the
original.
worst when they like remake slash remaster something, and but they censor it. It's like, what are you doing? That's part of what people want.
Exactly, and when people were getting called out, yeah, when people heard they were gonna remove the exotic, fucking erotic picture thing in Dead Rising, people were getting called creeps on fucking Reddit because they were getting upset that they removed it from the game.
yeah. Like I said, there was a lot of things they apparently took out of Dead Rising from the original, like as far as raunchiness goes and all that.
Yeah, they changed. There's a psycho. I know I probably talked about this before. I just probably forgot, but there's a psychopath you fight. He's like a Vietnam vet,
Yep.
and in the original, he calls you a fucking Viet Cong, a communist, and then in the original, he just fucking calls you the enemy, the bad guy.
Yeah, and did they like change his
That's
design and stuff
terrible.
too?
They changed the butcher too. They made him
Oh,
they
that's
make
the
him look
was okay.
less Asian. Yeah, they made him look less Asian because they thought the original model was racist, so they changed it up a bit.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of interesting
So
choices.
Dumb. It's dumb. You see, this is overreach. That's more than just doing a remaster. You're changing the game now.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
and then
Literally.
they added like they made. I heard that people were complaining about like the yellow paint they had in the game, like kind of like like in the Resident Evil 4 remake and Resident Evil remakes. A lot of people were
Right.
complaining about that. Yeah, and the when you like in the original how like a message pops up and tells you somebody died or
Yeah.
whatever. They changed that.
What?
They made it look different. They changed it. Yeah, it looks terrible.
Oh, that's stupid.
They changed a lot. Yeah.
Oh,
But for your question, Mindful Pig, that's how companies usually know if there's a audience for bringing back a series. They often will make a remake or a remaster of X game, then they'll see that it's sold a lot, so then they're like, yeah, no, we're going to greenlit the fifth of that series. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it does work to gauge where the
Yeah.
audience is. But the problem is that there's been so many of them that I think people are getting sort of annoyed of it, or there's been too many of them that are half baked and people are annoyed with them now, and now it's not a good indicator anymore, right?
Like obviously the game that sparked this whole interest in this topic was Days Gone, right? which I kind of get.
Instead of making a sequel, oh, let's fucking remaster it. Yeah, because that makes sense. Let's have like a fucking.
But like,
Oh,
am I wrong? Did that
Um,
game not start off rough and then got a cult following, or did it do well at the launch?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it kind of did.
Yeah,
I heard.
right. So
I
I
heard it wasn't good at the beginning.
guess that's why. Maybe. I mean, I'm reaching
Looking
obviously
at
with
what
it,
it
but
No,
was
it's
for.
no. That's because Sony wants to make money. That's not the same thing.
yeah, okay, okay. I was wondering.
For sure.
I was like, maybe they're worried because it sucked when it first launched, and there's no one to buy the
No.
second one. Or
They
okay,
don't care about that.
Here's the thing. The guy that made Days Gone did a big thing about this where it came out, it didn't do well. He wanted to do a second one, a second game of Days Gone, and Sony said no because it didn't do well compared to all our other titles.
yeah,
And so he was really pissed off about it. And so we know there won't be another Days Gone. So we know it's not to test the waters. So what's left? Well, let's let's port a game to our next generation and make a bit of money off of it.
that's
I can
gonna be.
understand Spider-Man. I could understand Spider-Man, but like, come on, really? Like every fucking game. That's what I mean. I don't get me wrong. I like PlayStation because they have a lot of good games, but like most of the like PS5 doesn't have that many games. They're just mostly remasters of like fucking last gen games.
Yeah.
It's nothing really new besides God of War or Spider-Man. That's all they got. I mean, they have Call of Duty and Battlefield and Halo, but that's mostly it. There's nothing good. There's nothing original. I mean, like what happened to Twisted Metal? Like I want to see if they came out with a new Twisted Metal, I would definitely buy a PlayStation because I really want
No,
to get
they've
into like
made the original titles. You know, there was Stellar Blade, there was Returnal. You know, there's a bunch where they've made something original. But it's true that a lot of the remakes and remaster take all the attention, right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
on it.
yeah, it's definitely where the advertising goes. It's funny you say it though, Hunty, because that's exactly what Pizza always preaches to. That he wishes the older titles that they left behind would, get their time to shine again, like Sly Cooper and what's a few others you wanted? Pizza.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind having them, but yeah, I know that you mentioned Days Gone,
Yeah,
and I actually saw comments about how people are saying that, oh, they're releasing this game, so it's clear they care about it. They don't care
You
about
know,
that game.
Of course not.
Dead
If they
Rising.
cared about that game, they would have, like JW said, make the sequel or at least do something else with it. But it's like when people praise Astrobot for like bringing all these IPs that they own. Astrobot is not a sign of, hey, here's what we got coming out soon. No, Astrobot was what's the word? Astrobot was like that fake nostalgia bait. It was like, here's just stuff that we have on us, but most of those games we're never gonna see because there's no there's interest in it. But yeah, Sony doesn't care about it. Sony only cares about Last of Us and Horizon. Like, those are the only two games that they will put way more effort into than every other game that is even like remotely better. They just don't care about it. And so, when I see people try to defend what's going on with Sony, like I don't hate them, but it's like, I've been with Sony longer than most of these people. I've seen what games they put out. I mean, well, I guess everyone here has been with Sony that long, so like this is, we're not we're not stupid. We know exactly what games that they could make and put out there tomorrow and it would be a hit. But to them, it's God of War, it's Horizon, it's Last of Us, and it's the casual suckers. They're going to eat it up. They're going to buy the remasters, and then when Sony starts when Sony starts, saying, what, guys, you know, there's another remaster of The Last of Us. Like they're making a Last of Us 2 remake. Why?
I know.
You don't
So
need,
dumb.
you don't.
They could
The
Rockstar
game came
re-release
out
the
not too long
GTA.
ago anyway. So
Yep.
like, why even bother with? They didn't want to remaster Forbidden West. Why?
Instead of remakes and remaster, I would love to see more older games be ported to PC. For example, I would love to
Oh.
see like all the Metroids on PC or something like that, instead of being dead somewhere, like unplayable unless like you CD, unless you like
Or
sort of
Emulator?
emulate it or
yeah, emulated.
locked away by Nintendo's vault of stuff they won't do anything with. Like it would be fun to see more of these because like I would prefer to play an older title than to play a remaster of it where parts of it are cut up and censored.
That's very
Yeah.
true.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
it's
know
what the
that.
company wants.
Yeah, you're right,
They
Hunting.
don't care about the fan base. It's about them. It's like with movies today. They don't make it for us. They make it for themselves so they can make fucking money. Like with comic books, too. Same with comic books. Same with mostly everything. Any fucking media, form of media.
Yeah, that that is true. I guess the legacy audience doesn't matter anymore. It's kind of like you know, what can little Timmy buy for Christmas? And knowing very well that nobody cares about Timmy. Like that's the last person who should be getting catered to. But
It's more like,
nowadays,
what should
he
I
seems to
buy
be the
for
main
Christmas?
audience.
Sorry, Hunting. That is super curious. You caught my attention there because obviously I've heard movies, I heard video games, I heard TV shows. I've never heard someone say about comic books before, though. Like, have they?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that comics books. It started with comics books even before movies.
Wow,
Yeah. They
really?
make it about themselves. They write about themselves. It's like that comic book, Raven, not Raven, Starfire's daughter or whatever. A lot of people
Yeah.
hated that fucking comic book. There was another one where they make Superman's son bisexual for some fucking reason, which was never fucking a thing in the comic books. They changed
Well, not
Superman's
only is it
motto
not a thing, but instead of like concentrating on like doing superhero stuff, it's all concentrated on like
and making
his
out with his girlfriend.
relationships. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. They've
They
literally.
changed Superman's motto. It used to be truth, justice, and the American way. They changed it to a better tomorrow because, they have to fucking sell it to other places. They can't have American written on it. They have to fucking be able to sell it like, like in China or any other fucking place, any other fucking country. So fucking stupid. And there was a guy on Twitter, a comic book store owner. He was complaining about it on Twitter, and people were attacking him for talking about it, for complaining about it. It
Really?
was a video on YouTube I was watching. Yeah, he said, "Stop writing it about yourselves. Write it about the fucking character. You're not gonna make money that way. Nobody's gonna fucking buy it."
Like I said, for me, it's been so long since I bought a comic book, right? So it's just, I don't know. When you said that, I was like, wow, really? Even like comics? Damn.
It's fucking yeah, bullshit.
I mean, I get it too. As a
Can't
as a
really
trading card game like player, right? I've seen Magic completely change what it used to be. It's literally become like the Fortnite of trading card games now.
So
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah. You guys
Like,
are
what they
right.
gotta change it for? It was good the way it was before. Why the
I
fuck did
know.
they have to change it? It's like with fucking video games. Like I said with Borderlands 3, two other games were great. The three other games were great. Why you have to fucking change it? Don't get me wrong. I kind of like Borderlands 3. It kind of reminded me of Destiny a little bit. I
Yeah,
like
that's
Destiny,
true. That's really true. Actually, that's a
but
good
like, why
comparison.
change it? Yeah,
Because you
that was
have
kind of making it like,
multiple school of thoughts when it comes to making another game. It's either you keep it the same, so you retain the same fan base, and it's a safe bet. But you also have the risk of people going, "Oh, it's the same thing."
I
I
mean,
wish
like,
there was
I mean,
something
that's
more.
what made the game popular in the first place. Like the Arkham games, they were the same. They were never different. I mean, different combat style. I mean, like different combat moves you could do, but that's really different. That's just part of the game. But like every fucking Batman game, every Arkham game had the same thing, and people fucking loved it. Arkham Knight, Asylum, City, Origins, and then when they made Gotham Knights, that fucking sucked. Suicide Squad sucked.
Well,
Yeah.
like I was saying, the thing that they often think of, that the executives love to think of, is the
Themselves.
the school of thought of, let's not do the same, because otherwise it will just be the same. People will get tired. What we want is do something different so we can get more people to buy it. More people. We don't want to cater to a fan base. We want to grow it. That's always the objective, right? So
Yeah.
they try stuff in different ways to reinvigorate the series by doing multiple stuff and trying to cater to multiple people. That's also the
I
problem. You can't cater to everyone, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it works, but sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, for example, the Dawn of War series, which is the sort of StarCraft-esque top-down RTS of Warhammer 40K. The first one is a bit like StarCraft, where you have your armies, you build your base and all that. Second one is not that. You don't build bases or anything. It's more concentrated like on characters. It's sort of an RTS, but you're sort of moving around armies, and it's like quite different. Like the characters have now skills, and quite different than its predecessor, but both games are still really good,
Yeah.
because they did their job well. So if you do your job well, I do believe it can fit. But sometimes they're just trend chasing as well, right? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, this trend is popular, so make it work with God of War. What, you want me to do a live service God of War? How does that work? I don't know. Make it work. That's
It's
the
like the
trend.
battle pass. Like, there's some games that don't need that. They don't need a fucking battle pass.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, 100%. That definitely gets utilized too much sometimes. But yeah, like
That school of thought is full. That school of thought must be failing because you know when I get trying to branch out and reach new audiences, but trying to do that multiple times and saying, man, no one's playing these games. Like, I mean, I don't like getting hit in the face, but even, to know that you're getting hit in the face multiple times by the same people multiple times, and then you're asking, why am I getting hit in the face? And it's like, you know, I mean, no one, I don't think anyone is against you making a new game. I don't think that anyone here will be like, oh, you're gonna make a God of War game set in like some Egyptian time or whatever. Like, I mean, it could work, like if it is possible when the idea can be like visualized and you're able to say, look, we're going to do these things. We have the talent for it. We have the writing. We have all this stuff. So it'll work out. Like we're able to put this new IP, or I guess this new idea out there. And, like people will be like, I don't know about all that, but I guess they'll warm up to it. Like, that's totally doable. I know that like for example, Yakuza, so I guess, yeah, Yakuza 7, like that was a game that went from running around beating up people to being like a turn-based fighter. A lot of
that's
people didn't
true.
like
Yeah,
it,
that's true.
but nowhere.
Well, the thing, you need
And
to find the sweet spot, right? The sweet spot where it's new, fresh enough that people love it and gets more people, right? Because if you change it too much, then you alienate the initial fan base, and then you lose more money than you've gained, right?
yeah, yeah, and I mean that can happen. I mean, that's almost a guarantee to kind of just, to like to change something so much that it just becomes, what is this? Like, is this not even, like, it's as if the some new company took over. And yeah, I can see that. I think that, losing your identity, that's a big issue. And, I think that a lot of games, they seem to lose that identity when they try
Yep.
to branch out, as if you can't you can't keep those core mechanics and just move it over to something else. I mean, like so many games have done that. I'm sure, like, I don't know what game, like Crash Bandicoot has all this teleportation stuff and all this weird sci-fi stuff in the new game. That was fine. I mean, sure, it's almost like the same thing as before, but there are some things different. Helldivers did it from top view to third person.
Oh yeah,
Other
good
game has
point.
done it. I guess Yakuza did it. There are other games I'm trying to think about that have done. They have done some pretty big things to the core concept, but they kept the
Kind of like with Grand Theft
identity.
Auto. Before
Oh
it was
yeah,
the first
there
game
we
was
go
tiny
too.
character.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
so
good point.
and so like it's not hard to make these things happen, but I like you said,
Working on that.
JW, it's that school of thought. Let's make everything Fortnite. Let's make everything Warzone. Well, I guess not Warzone. That's also copying Fortnite. Let's make everything League of Legends style. Like let's just make MOBAs, battle royales all day, and then hey, if it sticks, it sticks. But then that's when you get to the point where you have how many games? Like 12 games canceled all at the same time. Like that at that point in time, there's some real issues going on. Some real issues. But if you're a casual, it's like, oh well, hey, they canceled the game because they want to focus on a mainline story. What story? They haven't made a game past Ragnarok in years. So what are we talking about? What story?
Yeah, no, it's
Like,
over. Like we've seen all there is to see with Kratos. Like I don't mind if they make another God of War, but it's completely different, you know,
Yeah,
with another character and everything. Like because there can be more gods of war, right? It doesn't need to be only Kratos.
that's
yeah,
true. Yeah, yeah,
and
you're
for
right.
some
Or they
for
could do
some
like a
reason,
Gears of War and
people
have you
think
play as the
that
son or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah, they're holding out for that inkling of like, well, they know what they're doing. Like trust the company, trust the process. But when we trust it, we got Concord by trusting the process. We
yeah.
got Battlefield 2042. We got Modern Warfare 3. We got we had live service games that have no right being live service games because we said we'll trust in the process. We got Shadows trusting the process. So it's clear that nobody knows what they're doing, and we have to we got to keep hammering point home like, listen, old man, this is not what you want, and it's clear. And the more we do it, the more I mean, all they can do is either ignore us or keep doing the same thing. And when they do the same thing, they're going to close down, and we'll be right back where we were at square one, where all these things we're going to be hitting that gaming crash.
Well, wow, we're all in the
Yeah, like
hating.
the stock market, but instead of
Oh,
stock market, it's gonna be
I'm
video games.
okay. Sorry. Let me be positive. I'm sorry.
No, no, no,
I
no,
try to
no,
be
no. It's
positive.
perfect. It's perfect. That's exactly where I was gonna go with this next one. I said while we're all hating companies right now and talking about live service games, JW, if you don't mind giving everyone a little rundown of what happened with Marvel Rivals lately with the layoffs.
Sure. So here's what happens. It's been someone out there presented the information that Marvel Rivals creative directors and its team are let go, are being cut from the netties. So everybody's like, what the hell is going on? Like we thought Marvel Rivals like made so much money, which they did.
Yeah,
Why are they cutting like the create like it sounded like they were like cutting off the main, team and like the whole team or anything. But it turns out it's misreported and that's not exactly it. They
oh,
decided to cut the US branch actually, I guess, that they were working with, or it's like a design team of 6 people essentially, and not like the main directors and all that. I mean, it still sucks, but it's not as a major dire for like game development as like, let's say, the game director like was reported. It was reported game director because that was the title of the guy that got let go. He had the title of game director, but his team was a design team that helped make the Marvel Rivals game. I don't know to what capacity. I don't know if this team of 6 people were like super like into it, or if they were just like a side team, because with big projects like this you can have multiple outsourcing, but they basically cut their outsourcing team that was based in the US.
Okay, so it wasn't as big as like it originally sounded.
Yes, exactly. Like I said, it still sucks because 6 people
Yeah.
are without jobs now, but it's not like not as drastic as the reporting has made it out to be.
Well, yeah, because
That's that.
like you and me both felt the same way, right? It's like this game is doing so well. Like, why the hell would this even happen? Obviously, because like I said, when it first came out, like that initial tweet, I think by the lead there that you're describing, he definitely made it sound way more intense than than what it actually. I mean, 6 people still a lot. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, not as dramatic as it originally came across.
And also, it's part of a wider cutting.
Okay.
At NetEase, they've cut people from multiple different projects as well, not just Marvel Rivals. So it's not specifically to them or Marvel Rivals or whatever. I just think they're restructuring.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think that it's still. I mean, I think I saw like it was a small team as well. Which I mean, like either way, I think the fact that when we saw, I think it's the principle. It's the fact that you lay people off and then you post record numbers on your game. Like I think on the same day, around the same day, like at that point in time, it doesn't matter if you laid off one person. It doesn't matter if you had the idea of laying somebody off. You had all that money coming in, all these people, you know, there's no reason for you to even consider it. Because, like, but by the time by the time you think about a layoff, you may be having another 100,000 people coming in because it's Marvel. So yeah, I don't. When companies do that, I've never heard of a company doing a layoff because they were in hot water. It's always during like the record numbers that they lay people off, and it's like, and you know, I am happy. I'm happy when people bully corporations, no matter what happens. Like because at some point in time, people need to realize that you know, yes, you can make a great game, but if you are a a piece of, you know, keeping it PG-13, but then yeah, like we shouldn't be saying, oh man, but they made this, but they made that. Yeah, and then now you look stupid because you're supporting this. And then you turn around and say, man, they're laying off all these people. They're canceling all these companies because it's not fair. Like why do that? You can't have both ways. You can't have it both ways and then expect, like to just be, oh, it's everything's fine, it's trust the process. No, you know, I'm glad that, people are kind of catching on to what's happening and they're kind of, they're being like, okay, this is no.
well, here's the thing with this though. We don't know exactly what were their position in this because they could have also just been contractors or a type of contractor in the team, and the contract was like over.
True.
And
Yeah.
because I've had that in, well, not me personally, but like I've seen this when I was working in the game industry where you are part of the company but not really. It's more like your contract is being renewed every like couple of months or year or whatever. So it's also possible that their contract was until X, Y, and Z happens, and then it was done. Like there are multiple stuff we don't know about this. It's just I think like it was poorly reported, and everybody it sort of surprised everybody because now like it felt like the main team was being let go while the game was soaring in money, which turns out it's not exactly the case. And so there's a lot of details here we don't actually know about the what they were doing, how much they were involved, if they are an outsourcing type of thing, or if they were actually part of the NetEase family, if you want to call it, company, whatever, et cetera, right?
Yeah. Well, if that is the case, then these people who are reporting it are doing a crappy job reporting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's one thing. It would be one thing if it was like, if they saw, Marvel has like 14,000 players, and they said, oh well, actually we have 1 million players. Like, if it was just that, then I mean, hey, it's that's no, it's player numbers. Who cares? But like when you're talking about layoffs, when when you have had other reportings of layoffs, and they have been close to accurate, and then you're wrong on this, come on, man. Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that you're stupid. But I still do think that people should kind of rail against these companies, or like we said, Jay, will get the get the information, you know, well, either way, yes, get the information regardless, so we know exactly what's going on, and if this guy is just making it out to be a big deal, and oh, it's just my team, like a few people you didn't get laid off, your contract ended, and I think that would, you know, although I guess at the same time though, why would you even say I got laid off if your contract ended? Why would you start saying, "Man, I can't believe they fired me because all this stuff."
Well, sometimes people think they'll, get renewed and they don't, and then they get pissed off. But I brought in that contract aspect. This hasn't been really talked. I just don't know their situation, and nobody does really except NetEase. And but the other thing actually we don't always think about is the cost of these games. And by the cost, I don't necessarily mean the development cost. I mean the cost afterwards once the game is released. Meaning, for example, the Marvel license must cost enormously. Like if you think of EA, they had to drop the FIFA name because the license cost too much to have it in their games now. That's right. They renamed it for I don't know what title. So so the cost of the licensing of Marvel must be, I would think, a lot for to make this. There's other costs linked to like servers, and there's like a bunch of after the fact costs that people never talk about when a game is released as well. But I'm not saying to take the company side in all this. No,
No.
they're soaring. They're making a lot of money off of it. But there's also a cost that they need to repay a bunch of stuff after the release that is not talked about.
See, and like you both were right about that, right? Because that's exactly what happened. Pizza was like JW shared it, then I went on Twitter to go take a peek, right? And I saw the guy's original post, and then it was like every single gaming news like place was just like Marvel's letting go of people. Marvel's what are they doing? Marvel's going under. I was like, what the fuck is happening? But yeah, like I said, just to hear like it was something as simple as like 6 people, right? Just so yeah, just so blown out of proportion.
Yeah, it's probably like the less layoff we've seen in like the past multiple years.
Right?
Honestly,
Yeah, so true. So yeah, just
Yeah, so
it's just funny how they
yeah,
just like go with that train sometimes.
yeah. And now if it is the case that you did get laid off, even though it's 6 people, these people,
Yeah, it still
we have
sucks. Yeah.
gamers, we just need to, we need to rail against these companies. Like, I mean, some people think it's petty, but it's like, I mean, if you got laid off, would it be petty? And then oh no, it would that would suck. So what's the problem then? Like you should be fighting for the workers, not the company. These companies, they don't care if we say, we don't want this game anymore. We're done with it. Because all they got to do is look at Fortnite's numbers and just say, well, we don't need you. We'll have someone else. And it's just that it's the balls that these companies have to say that we made record numbers and then someone got laid off. But if this guy, if it's shown that he was on a contract and he's an idiot, and
Yeah.
we should rail against him for being stupid because you know I'm all for supporting developers, voice actors, screenwriters, just people who do all this stuff. But like you have to have at least some accountability because we're fighting for you. I think at the end of the day, they need to understand that we, the gamers, are fighting for you. We'll buy your game and we'll give you all the flowers, but please don't make us look stupid because at that point in time, there's gonna be hell to pay when it's found out that you lied.
Yeah.
Happened to that voice actor where she was, the voice actor, I think it was was it for Bayonetta or it
Oh
was a different,
yeah, the
it was a
Bayonetta one.
voice actor.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
talking about
Fuck,
that.
that was
And
Oh,
terrible.
I totally forgot
and
about
she
that.
got roasted all the way. So, why you want to try and pull a fast one again is like you're on like dude, you're on Twitter. Look up Anna the voice actress, and you'll see what happened. Like this is like yes, gamers. Some gamers are pretty they're on the spectrum, but
Yeah,
not everyone is though.
that's true.
I think that we can find 100 gamers who will rally against somebody and say, "You lied to us. You're a piece of shit." Like, you know, leave. So, we'll see. I mean, truth be told, I don't even play Marvel's Rival. I did it one time and it wasn't bad, but it's not my thing.
No,
I'll
that's totally
still
understandable.
look at what this guy is doing, what he's saying, because I'm, I like to see when people, when, I like seeing when casuals understand what's happening in the gaming space and like they can start forming like real good opinions about things, like be more self-aware. Because all that means is that the games we played as kids, we'll get those games back. We'll get those games in the future. We won't be getting these watered down LGBT games with
Yeah,
like self-inserts and people like trying
in the
to
near future, Call of Duty doesn't
soapbox
suck.
us to death. So, that's what I want to see happen is get the full story and then, kind of just, see who should we put on the cross.
We were talking about remasters. Sorry, Hunting. You brought up Gears of War that got remastered. I never really guess I thought about it before. But yeah, why didn't they do 2 and 3? Because they did
I
that.
don't know.
You're right.
It's
They did
it's
the
it's just
definitive
a
edition.
fucking bunch of yeah. They did the first one. There was rumors of a collection where they're gonna have Gears of War 2 Ultimate and Gears of War 3 Ultimate, but that's rumors. That's not.
Yeah, I'm
It's
surprised they
because they're
didn't.
working on other games. Like they're working on right now E-Day right now, and then after that they're gonna work on 6, and maybe hopefully we do get a fucking remaster. Because I do want to play a Gears of War 2 remaster and a Gears of War 3 remaster.
Well,
I do.
like the Gears of War definitive edition. That was a while back, wasn't it? Like more than
Yeah,
5 years, right?
before Gears of War 4.
Yeah. So wow, I'm surprised. Yeah, they never did. When you mentioned that, I was like, yeah, shit, he's right. I'm surprised they never went for number two. But yeah, did any of you guys have any other topics? That was my main three of the night.
When Pizza was talking about he hopes that they're not lying about what's going on.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like really skeptical when shit like that happens, because I don't really believe everything I hear on the internet. So I'm like, yeah, I'll wait until like the whole story comes out, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I also am skeptical, but that's because I've worked in the industry and with many people, and I find there are that's just a personal view, personal experience. I find there are a lot of people that are not that great at what they do, and when it doesn't go their way, they sort of act out.
Oh yeah.
And so every time I see something similar, I always wonder, is it because what's the performance? We don't know the performance of this, person. What is or what happened internally, or because there's a bunch of stuff that happens internally that is never, shown or discussed because it's not professional. And or it's a personal matter inside the company. So I always wonder what we don't see, what is basically the dossier, the history behind that person that led to that decision. So I'm always skeptical as well.
Yeah, because if they are
Yeah,
lying, then
that,
that's really fucked up.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. Like, I can see people doing that. I mean, I've seen on Twitter where, people who are writers, like when they put out something, like whether it be a book or a comic or just, something in maybe a game, and like people just say that this, it's not good. And, if it's not good, it's not good. Like, I mean, it sucks to be told that your work is not like
Good.
breaking, it's not breaking new records or whatever. But like to get on Twitter and be like, oh man, you guys suck, but you don't appreciate what I'm doing. Like, come on, dude. That's not the way to go, because now no one's gonna bother reading your book.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's true. Like
And I think the other thing to consider too, right? There are the extreme people, right, that go the opposite route with these companies, and then they start issuing death threats and stupid shit like that too, right? I mean, we got to have a happy
yeah,
medium too as fans, right? Not saying like majority do it, right? But there are the few out there, right, that go a little bananas with it.
Oh, for sure, there are like a bunch of crazies that do death threats and do like insane stuff to developers. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like this is not enough this is not enough. Like, it's been so understated by fans because they don't understand someone who would do this. And but the devs really get all sorts of death threats and uh terrible feedback and all that. I mean, when it comes to feedback, who cares? If you want to be an artist or make something or whatever, you need to be able to go, this is a stupid feedback, don't care.
Yep.
Okay, this is useful. You can't just lash out and go, it's because you're a Nazi, or I don't know what, right?
Yep.
I actually blame companies for this. I for or the people that were running the PR when something went back. Because if you remember, what I can remember, the first time this appearing when something was bad was with Disney movies, where people would say, well, this movie sucks because I don't like this character, whatever, and then saying, well, no, it's because you're racist or you're not, you're or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
XYZ.
That's
it's
true.
like when that
And
Fantastic Four movie came out with Michael B. Jordan, and people were getting called racist for not seeing it because they made Johnny Storm black. It's like
yeah,
that's not the
exactly.
case, because
So
it's a fucking terrible movie.
so I blame companies for either for doing this or letting this happen by the people that were in charge of making that managing that PR disaster one or
Yep.
whatever you want to call it, and so it has fucked up our our way of interacting and has created this wedge between the consumers and the people making the stuff, right? Because of it, they now both of them live in a bubble. Now the creators live in the bubble that everyone's racist and Nazi, and that no matter the criticism, it doesn't matter because they're being fed lies by these YouTubers that peddles and say all sorts of stuff that they don't know about.
Yeah.
While all the other side, the consumer is like, what the hell are they doing? Like they're doing it on purpose to put X, Y, and Z in it. They even said it. I'm doing it on purpose to piss off the fans because they're angry. Both sides are angry. And so it's just I'm blaming lack of leadership or proper leadership in the companies for managing these situations.
That's a really solid point, man. Yeah. No, you're on the ball.
It's like with fucking every Marvel movie now, TV show. It's the people
Yeah.
they hire. I don't get it.
Well, yeah.
Is there like a higher up person that could fire these fucking people?
Well, I know, like even
Higher than
JW is
these
made fun of, right? Like Star Wars. Like you're right. There's so many things that Disney's taken over that they have just
Fucking Mark
destroyed.
Hamill said it too. He said it way before all this shit came out. Mark Hamill even said it's not gonna. It's magic. It's lightning in a bottle. It's not gonna happen again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was telling myself that if what's his face, the guy created Star Wars. I can't believe I forgot his fucking name. If he didn't sell the rights, he could have still made that amount of money. That money that Disney gave him, he could have made that same amount of money if he kept Star Wars and made those fucking movies and, was able to fucking tell his story from the, figures or the fucking movies.
He says it's a lightning in a bottle, but I believe they could have made it work. It's just Disney clearly had no idea what the hell to do, especially since there's already a bunch of like extended universe stuff in books that they could have just
Yeah.
lean into,
Never did.
but they never did. Yeah. Instead, they erased it.
Yeah, like they fucking Dano snapped it away.
Yeah.
Lady of Here and There in chat was just adding on to what the topic was, just saying that reminds me of when people who critiqued Ree from Star Wars sequels for being Mary Sue, which she was, and were branded sexist by Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I never really heard about that, but
Oh, I have plenty. Yeah, yeah. No, she definitely did.
I feel like
Kathleen Kennedy is the one that has been putting all these ultra progressive feminist whatever stuff in these movies.
like that Star Wars show that was supposed to be a prequel of like New Hope or whatever, and she made it like all lesbians and shit.
Was that the
Yeah.
Acolyte?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That show got canceled.
Yeah, really quick, eh? Even like
Yeah, because I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard, it sucks.
well, see, even the Mandalorian, right? I heard season 1 was okay, and then after that kind of dropped down too.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
After
so
that girl got fired, that actress that got fired. Wait, was it the reason why, or maybe that was one of the reasons why?
Which actress is that? Sorry.
I think he's
forgot her-
talking about Gina Carano.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She was one of the main secondary characters in Mandalorian,
Oh, okay.
and she got fired for some posts on Twitter.
Yeah.
She
was saying
spoke her mind, and apparently Disney doesn't like free thinkers, so they said, "Oh, bye."
Go figure.
And like you have Bill Burr on there. I don't think you can be talking about free thinking.
And didn't
Oh,
Disney
yeah,
make
he's
fucking
there.
cartoon like you've seen those Disney cartoons from like the 40s? I was telling, not my friend, like myself, that Disney's that they shouldn't have gone woke with all the shit they've done in the past. They're like the last people who should have gotten woke.
It is kind of funny, eh? Yeah, that they completely just hid that past. during all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's
you can still find
it's
it
like,
on
oh, like,
YouTube.
hey, I mean, we can just put him in there. Look, but when he does his stand up though, it's like it's all crickets. Like, oh, let's not talk to Bill, and then out of nowhere, let's put him in there. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
I love Bill. Like Bill is one of my favorite comedians. He just doesn't give a fuck. You know, he will say whatever is on his
Aside
mind.
from Star Wars,
Like just just a great comedian.
But I guess to add to Huntington's comment, I do think that I think that if the Acolyte was a lesbian film, it would make a lot of money.
Pizza.
like porn, yeah, it would.
I would. I mean, I'm not. I mean, if it was a parody, like an adult film parody,
Yeah,
I think
definitely,
that
yeah,
it would make way more money because
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not watching it. I'm not watching a cat fight and with like plastic swords. No, thank you. Well, not even in the good. Like it's just they're like play fighting. It's kind of
Yeah.
cringe.
Oh, that's probably why it failed. It was like a porn show, but without the porn.
It sounds like those.
So it has
Exactly.
the same writing, the same acting, just without
Fucking
yeah.
It sounds like
coming.
those silly memes that they have, right? Where like someone's like, "I think I bought the wrong movie," and it's like one of those scenes.
Yeah, missed opportunity, really. But it's knowing these companies, it's like, oh, hey, we got a good idea. Like, let's put this out there. What is it? It's female Star Wars. Yeah, no.
I
Like,
don't get that. They don't
you
look
know,
over this shit. They can't. They just fucking send it out. They don't like look over like, oh, this is bad.
Well, like I said, like JW was
they
saying, right?
probably
They
did.
obviously
No.
never like watched Star Wars and like that. Like you could write great female leads and all this kind of stuff, but it's like
No, but
Yeah.
you know when
they
I was
screwed it up.
saying they are looking you know when I was saying they're looking to expand the um the player base.
Yeah,
Well, it's the same concept here in the sense of we want to reach more people. What do we do? Well, we want to really get that girl demographic because we've seen that mostly boy watch it. Okay, so let's do more female characters. Let's just do Star Wars female. Okay, but that's the thought, right? It's not like let's make an interesting female character. It's let's just do Ghostbusters but with females, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That movie too. That shocked me. That they.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. That shocked you.
well, I was just.
I was shocked.
I really was actually, because I was like, "What the fuck is going on with Ghostbusters?" um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, I mean, they got a good amount of female lead movies that are like, great. I mean,
absolutely,
you
yeah,
got Kill Bill. Kill Bill is a perfect one.
I mean, just
Anyway,
in Star Wars,
Alien.
Leia is a strong
She's great.
character.
yes,
that
yeah.
too.
She is a great
Yeah,
character.
well,
Like she
yeah,
shoots more people than Luke does. Like
That's true.
she's a strong female character. She is a strong senator as well. Like she can do anything, just like Padme can as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh
Padme
yeah.
was great.
Well, I mean, like you even have Ahsoka in there. Like you already have an established female Jedi. So like you don't need to make like this, oh, let's make like some kind of outlaw based film
Yeah,
that's like female led because it's like, I mean, it's a new character that we don't know about. We don't care about him. And I mean, of course, making a whole new Leia would just be like that would just be disrespectful to the actress herself because she's not here
Yeah.
anymore. Rest in peace to rest in
Carrie
peace.
Fisher.
Thank you. Yes, rest in peace to Miss Fisher. Like, replacing her in Leia, that would be the ultimate backhand. Which I'm glad. I'm glad they're
Fans
not
and
doing
everybody
it.
else.
But
No,
if that,
instead they'll do a 3D version of her.
well, I say in the Clone Wars too, there
I'll
was another
With
really
scrap
cool
the
girl
idea.
and
Jedi.
Flash.
Yeah,
I didn't understand anything. You all talked at the same
I
time.
know, that's why I shut up. I was like, "Oops." Sorry, Hunty. What'd you say about was it the Flash? You said?
No, yeah, you said either like green 3D whatever. I'm like, yeah, like what they did with the Flash, like what they did with Christopher Reeve. They
Oh
made him
yeah,
like CGI or whatever. It was like really fucking terrible.
but yeah, I don't.
Yeah, the Flash was pretty terrible. Period. That's also,
Yeah.
but yeah, the CGI was awful in that movie.
I said I didn't know
Yeah,
what
it
the
was.
sorry, I didn't know what the Star Wars Jedi character is, but I said another strong one too was in the Clone Wars. Oh, I got it. I can't remember. I think she was Anakin's apprentice.
Oh, you mean Ahsoka?
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
she was another really good one.
Oh, they made a show which is really good actually. The Ahsoka show is really good. Like I was super surprised at how good it was.
Yeah, and then for some reason they just okay, well we're done now. Like, why? Like, why would you want to? Why would you want to skip it on that to like focus on Afterlife or what's that movie? I guess what's that other movie that came out before it? With that second sister. I saw a video about her and like no one liked her. Reba, I think that's her name.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, like why do that though? You have excluding Leia, you have Ahsoka, Padme, and probably some other female character that's been in the lore for decades. Like you have enough material to make good running series like Ahsoka. Just
But
keep doing that. Or how about you don't do this whole let's make a female led anything or a male led anything. Just make a Star Wars movie
yeah, like you said,
and
you can
just
make a show
have
from a character.
good actors in it and good,
Yeah.
just have good actors in there
Well,
and good
Disney,
writing,
they're
of
not gonna do
course.
it.
And then, if people want to align with this girl, man, she's so strong. She's like, I love this girl. And then if a guy wants to have some kind of role model, you can have that too. You have both audiences agreeing on your film, and then you
But
don't have
again,
to
I don't even get that to like specifically concentrate on the gender. Just make a good character that and people will like it whether they're a woman or a guy. You know, it's not like a video game. Some people want to see themselves, so they want to only play, let's say you're a girl, a female character, or only play a guy character. But like a movie, like you're there for the story and characters, so you'll probably relate no matter the gender if it's well done. You know?
Yeah,
But Disney,
absolutely.
it's all
And
about money. They don't
I
care.
think that this whole idea of like trying to align yourself with one side is like the best thing. And it's not. In, in fact, there's a whole video. I don't know if you guys know about this guy, Critical Drinker,
Yeah.
but he made a video that was like perfectly, kind of talking about what's wrong with these movies, where he talked about Barbie and Maverick. What's the show? What's that movie called? With the airplanes. With Tom Cruise in it.
Top Gun.
Top
Oh,
Gun.
yeah.
What was it called?
Top Gun.
Top Gun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. There we go. And he just said how Barbie was a movie that was made for women, and that movie had box office hits constantly by women. And then Maverick was really sought after by men. It had box office. It had men. So I mean, it's possible to do it.
Yeah.
And I guess I can of course I don't want those movies to be I don't want
But
them.
you're mixing it up. It wasn't with Top Gun. It was with Oppenheimer that Barbie tied the box
Oh, okay.
office.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, yes. But yeah, I don't want those movies to be like uh, the smoking gun of, hey, look, we can do it. No, because these are established brands that already have a audience kind of in mind already. They just happened to make a movie about it, and it was a good movie. Both were good movies that capitalized on what these people wanted. But with Star Wars, you really can't do that because, like it's not, like Star Wars doesn't have a gender. it doesn't have anything with it. It's Star and it's wars. Like, you can't make, not every movie can be Wonder Woman, and not every movie can be Batman. So, you can you have to be okay with not being this. I'm going to align with one gender because they're going to watch that movie because it didn't work out for Ghostbusters. It didn't work out for
Birds of
Acolyte.
Prey.
It's not going to work out for any other one-sided movie that is not grounded with that audience. But Disney thinks that they know better, and they think that, well, we're going to keep doing it because something will stick, but then it won't stick, and then they'll start blaming everyone else. Like they always have a scapegoat for some reason. Like when everything goes crashing down, they always have a target to point at, which I think is kind of weird. Like, you're able to like blame someone else for your own failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. Like,
Yeah, they're not
you know,
responsible. Just own it.
Sorry, I was just gonna add in,
it's their fault. They always
lady
will
of
suck.
here and now. Just sorry, she had a comment back a little while ago. I just don't want it to get messed up. But anyway, to get a lady's perspective on all this that we were talking about, right? Lady of here and there was just saying that I might be biased with our conversation about wokeness. I might be biased here because I'm a trans woman, but I really like that the wokeism is getting more prominent. Which, by the way, lady, I couldn't say the word prominent for so long in my head. I kept reading that sentence over and over just to show you how dumb I am sometimes with this. But anyway, yeah, I might be biased here because I'm a trans woman, but I really like the wokeism that is getting more prominent. Ensure that media is real and it's important to represent people of all walks of life, not only considered normal, but that doesn't excuse bad writing. And then she just agreed with JW that the Jedi girl that we were talking about there, she loved her in the Clone Wars and loved her in the TV show, and she's a fantastic character. Sorry, just she had that for a while there. I just didn't want to think I was missing out.
But she's right. If you take example in games, Suicide Squad was really woke and really bad. Mr.
Yeah.
Freeze was now Mrs. Freeze, a lesbian,
Yeah, I mean,
short
it's
hair, muscle
multiverse.
mummy.
Oh
So
wow,
that's bad. So that's bad. But if you think about, let's say, Life is Strange, everybody loves Life is Strange. It's done
true.
well
Yeah,
because
Yeah. Movie
the
played
people
well.
like these characters,
Audience.
like these stories. So yeah, she's absolutely right, and that goes back to whatever the gender, the whatever. If it's well written, if it's well done, people will like it.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, um, like even Baldur's Gate, like that's a whole, like it doesn't get any more woke than having sex with a bear. So, like I think the fact that, like you can make a game that is, you can be this trans, sorry, let me not say that, let me not be offensive, sorry. You can be whatever you want to be, and the writing's good, the gameplay is good, the story is great. I mean, Cyberpunk did it, although for some reason with Cyberpunk, a lot of people who were in LGBT didn't like the game because, oh man, you're making us look bad. Like, no, like this is
Ow.
us in
Doesn't make
2077.
any
Like
sense.
we're gonna be looking like this with augmentations, and
Exactly.
we can choose our own gender when we want to. Like it's in fact that's a
It
game
needs
for
to be
you
video game. I
guys.
mean,
It's it has everything you want in it, and you're saying no, we don't want that. Like, we want to have transgenders in GTA. We want our protagonist has to be a transgender who confirms his or her identity and make everybody like wear pride flags in a GTA game. That's what they're looking for. And no offense to Lady, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I want to be as respectful to you as possible. But I do know there are some people out there who, even though you give them a game that aligns with their values, or a
and it's still
movie
not
or
satisfied with it.
something, and it's just like, well, that's great, but we want more. We want, we want the whole world to understand what being woke is, and that is where you get all these issues. Like you said, Suicide Squad. I mean, Mrs. Freeze. Nobody. I don't. I have a few friends who are part of the LGBT, and nobody plays Suicide Squad. They thought that Harley was annoying. I mean, she's already annoying, but they thought that she was insufferable. Then they killed
Yeah.
Batman, and so I have people who are transgender who align themselves more with Batman than anybody else.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think like I said, JW. Honestly, like I said, he said it the best there, right? Like as long as the story is great and you do a
Exactly.
well
Good
job,
writing,
yeah, you do a well
good,
job like
whatever.
executing those characters. Like, let's have anything we can,
Look at
right?
Deadpool Wolverine, for
Yeah,
example. Good writing, good story, whatever. Why can't we do that with everything?
absolutely, right. And then
It's
like,
all about, like I said
As it's
before,
hard.
it's all about money. It's
yeah,
about for
Well,
or
themselves.
like you said, like with
it's not
your
about money. It's about easy money. There's a difference
yes,
because you can
yeah.
do it, but it takes effort, and but they want easy, quick money, right?
And
Short
Yeah.
gains.
And same with like
Yeah,
GTA or
they
any
want
of
that
those things you brought up, pizza. Like as long as there's like a character creation, yeah, like let that person make whatever character they want. That's the whole point to a video game when you have a character creation, right? Like
exactly.
everyone knows I don't really care. I just put whatever character on. But I know some people are very passionate about that. Yeah, they want to represent
Yeah,
themselves in
I
a
am.
game. Yeah, right. And that's great. Like and you should have every option available to you, every skin, hairstyle, whatever, right? Like it should be all available to you if you're gonna make your own character. But like
Like if you remember the first stream I streamed Avowed, I was like, I have to stop this or I'll be here like the whole stream. Like I kept changing stuff in it.
Absolutely, right? And like that's great. Like gamers like those kind of and they should have those kind of options, right? But you're right. It's at the end, like when it comes to like a character that you're actually gonna like, the yourself you can't make, right? Like it's gonna be a story involved with that character, then yeah, it should be a life is strange situation. It should be something that like people are gonna talk about for decades because it was so well written. The characters were easy to relate to and understand and you could be in their headspace. And there are great examples
Yeah,
of those, yeah. But you're right, Pizza. There are a lot of times, like a Concord situation, where you just get a game that was put out for the sake of putting it out, and it blew it, and it sparked that anger.
yeah,
But I think what Lady wanted to say is that even though there's a lot of like bad shit writing that they sort of hijack that movement, the LGBT movement to make it trendy and all that. Uh, she there's a positive to this where they've had more representation and
True.
I don't know if more acceptance. I'm not sure. People are more accepting today now, but uh, like where everybody's more aware now of all this, right? And there's more representation of people of these walks of life, right? So there's a positive to this, but yeah, a lot of companies have like sort of abuse of this, I find, and it has sort of hijacked these movements and made it so much worse for them. I find because now um, everybody's just like an open wound, everybody's just extreme on everything now.
Yeah.
Like you immediately see like let's say uh, uh, two girls kissing or two guy kissing, and it's like, oh god damn it, it's woke. I can't play it anymore, and then they're like dying from the inside,
Yeah.
and
yeah, yeah. I said there was I saw a Twitter post about that too. There was some guy who like he's quote unquote anti woke, and he was saying, man, Avowed is woke because you have like these women in this game. Like, yeah, man, like it's an yeah, like it's a fantasy RPG game that has women in it, like you know, like like Baldur's Gate that has women in it too. But like I don't know if he had like I think was it early access to the game or something. He was playing the game before I was. And this guy was like, quote unquote, man, avowed and woke because they're doing all this stuff. So why in the world would you buy the game if you know you don't like it?
Yeah.
So,
So stupid.
you know,
as of now it's not woke at all, and there's two reasons as of now I think people are saying this. One, it has a similar look to Dragon Age Veilguard in the color palettes and the style that they use.
Oh,
Yeah,
true.
And
that's true.
second reason is because there's this art director that kept, antagonizing the people
Oh,
by
yeah.
saying, "Oh yeah, well, I hope yes, it is woke, and I hope that everybody cries a river, and that
Oh,
I did this
yeah.
just for Elon Musk. I hope he gets mad, and all sorts of weird like extremist comments. Like it was stupid comments, really. So that guy sort of made it like that, but there's
Yeah.
nothing woke as of yet as of what I've played. Like it's pretty standard. It's pretty normal, I would say.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the
Yeah,
stupid comments.
it's like it's a tip. It's Skyrim light, essentially.
Yeah, I think
You
that's a
know,
good comparison. Yeah, it's a pretty streamlined RPG. Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, I didn't think I forgot about that guy who was just being stupid. I've seen so many developers be stupid nowadays, and it's like I
So
lost track of
true.
them. But yeah, and I think in that case, and yeah, I think that when you do something like that and you paint a huge target on your back, then yeah. So maybe I will
Keep your
still
politics to
rail
yourself.
on the anti-woke guy, but I'll also rail on the developer for kind of like, pissing people off with that comment. Like, dude, get off Twitter. You have Blue Sky. Go over there and like up the game. Stop trying to like, man, F Elon, he sucks. Like, okay, dude, you have a website geared towards your own community. Go over there and leave us alone because you're making things worse.
Yeah.
It's like with actors today, they can't keep their politics to themselves. They have to fucking say how they feel,
Oh,
and
so
that's what,
true.
like with Robert De Niro, he's talking about fucking beating up Trump supporters, and nobody fucking likes him anymore.
Oh, you
Right?
mean
It's like you
I
stop watching his movies.
honestly I don't mind people saying like I can separate the artist from the from the people that make from the final product. I can still watch Robert De Niro. Like I don't care what he thinks about Trump or not, really. You know, but I think the problem is more. For example, I know that they've put like someone that hates guns as like a game designer for Halo. Uh, like the person that is like a game designer for Halo commented of how much he hated like guns, weapons, and in every form, even digitally, like not just a
Wow.
real life thing. So for me, it questions why are you putting someone like this for your
You know,
game?
Yeah, that's so
It's the
stupid.
wrong person, clearly.
it is.
That's the main problem with them not shutting up and just putting in stupid comments. It makes people think, well, clearly that person is the wrong person to lead a project like this.
Yeah.
It's like if
And
they hired
yeah, like I
somebody
can
who hates
see.
violence work on Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, yeah. I was just gonna add there. Pizza lady said, "All's well, don't worry. I don't feel disrespected." And then she was just adding another comment on there saying, "Reminds me of Lauren Studios CEO Swen Vicky." Sorry, I'm butchering that to all hell. Said
Yeah.
you don't need to try to make money with a game. Make a great game, and the money will follow automatically. Very good
Exactly.
slogan.
Yeah.
That's why I play fucking all these old video games nowadays because they're fucking great. Like what happened? Like Call of Duty used to be
Corporation.
great.
That's what happened.
Yeah,
Everything's got corporatized now.
they all want
Yeah,
to please
everything
the
became
investor.
mainstream. Yeah, it became cool to be a gamer. So now everyone wants to be a quote unquote gamer, even though they say, well, we want to have this, and that. And like, you would like, if you had that same idea back in the 90s, people will laugh at you. I mean, they would put
Exactly.
in the game, but they can do it
They
better
would do
than
it as a
the just
joke.
casual can.
Well,
You
also,
can make a really good, game where you have heavy metal in it. It's called Rock Band. We don't need We don't need little Timmys to tell us how to make a rock game music. We already have one.
the thing is, we used to try to push the envelope of what you could do in a video game, right? Like, for example, when you would go to the next console generation, you were pushing the envelope of what you could do,
Yep.
or when you were trying to put everything that you could on that one disc, like all the sound bites. I'm thinking back of, let's say, Perfect Dark on the N64, where it had like shadow plays, and even before like lighting was even a thing, in gaming, and they it was filled with passionate people that tried to do so much with so little. And
Yeah.
now it's not the case anymore. Now you can do so much, but we do so little with it.
Yeah,
That's
everything
a
is
good point,
now, hey,
buddy. Yeah.
like we'll put the game out and then it'll be half finished, and then okay, well, how about this, man? Day one patch, the game is fixed, or day number 70 patch, the game is now complete. Like, why am I buying a game that's broken? Like, what's the point of me doing that? And then you're charging me full price for
It's
a
like
game that's
Fallout
not working
76.
when for
Yeah.
that money I can go and I can go and buy like probably 5 PS2 games, and I might get probably double the amount of hours in it because like, yeah, it's a complete game. Like, you can play, let's say, Jack and Daxter. You can play the whole collection on one disc. Well, that's not okay. That's going that's giving them too much credit. So you can play the original games on the PS2, and like, Jack and Daxter takes you a good while to finish it. I mean, it might be easy to play, but it takes a minute. And then you have Jack 3, which takes even longer, and that's all on one disc on a console that can barely that will still have frame skips because it's not exactly on the level of PS5 when it comes to having 60 FPS. But I can get a game like that and play it for hours on end, front to back, without having to put in a disc 2 or do an update or like wait for the DLC, which is really just the second half of the game that you guys just said, oh, well, we'll do it later on. And then, like, we'll pull a Destiny, essentially. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I think
well,
so.
I was gonna say something, but I forgot. So continue.
I say,
I
lady
think that, like,
was.
yeah, like, I think that game companies have been okay with doing the whole. I mean, I'm gonna call it pulling the Destiny because I think that's the only game I can think of where the only way to continue the story is to buy DLC. That is
Yeah.
probably the worst way to like tell a story where, oh,
Yeah.
if you buy the sequel, it's not the sequel. It's the same story. You just decided to sell us the rest
It's
of
like
it
with Call of
behind the
Duty.
paywall and thinking that we won't notice it. But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So I still think to this day one of the worst things to happen to the game industry is being able to update your game. Like, there's incredible benefits, but they've only
Yep.
mostly been used for, like you say, bringing out like half-par games because you're saying, "Oh, we'll fix it later." But at the same time, I'm wondering if we weren't be able to update, would we still have games that come out on the date that they do, or would they just take more time to make, like 10 years and more? It's a good
they will
question.
I would say it would take more.
they will cancel
Yeah.
those projects
Yeah,
because
exactly. So
yeah,
I
they
guess
will.
it's a bad, but you know
Something you have to accept, kind of.
yeah.
I mean, and like like these are these are companies that have had years of experience just being in the gaming space. But like you said, JW, when corporations come in any industry, it's always it becomes how can we make as much money as possible for the shareholders? Like, how can our investors give us more money? And rather than it being like, look, guys, give us 2 years to make a really good game, and then you'll have your money back. it's no longer about the waiting game. It's all about we need to have it right now. As if as if these people who have millions of dollars, by the way, like they can't survive on that yacht they bought full price. They bought the yacht cash price. They own it. They need to have like another yacht or another plane or whatever. And it's like, I think that doing that, it ruins the experience for everybody, from the devs to the players, because now, it's like you have to sit here and play half-ass games, or if it's a case of you can only push the game out when it's feature complete from start to finish, and there's no need for additional content. I might even say you can only have updates to fix the frame rates, and that's it. Nothing else. No adding content, no doing this DLC stuff. You're only updating to fix, like just every now and then when the game stutters, hey, we'll fix it up. No big deal. And honestly, though, I think that if that was the case, where it's just push the game out right now, sorry, push the game out when it's ready, I think that every game that we have had from, I don't know which game, well, I guess we'll do recently, from Concord onwards. Like, imagine if that game was like done completely right from start to finish. No need for adding stuff in the end. Push it out like that. I think that Concord would have been bigger than Helldivers. I think that would have been like the game that made Sony become like a record holding console, or vice versa. If Halo Infinite came out feature complete, that game would have made the Xbox console like the dream thing, or just the company itself. Like the idea that these companies have started to say, let's that like let's give these players like pieces of a game and hope that they stay. Like that's not practical. And I think that once the casuals start to kind of get that self awareness, they'll be like, oh, you know what? I don't want this anymore. Like, I'm being fed like pieces of a game when I already paid $60, 70, $100, and now I got to pay $30 to get the rest of it. No, thank you.
I was gonna say there, lady had added on a point about Bethesda as well, just saying that there's also a thing where developers do inclusivity and wokeism really well, like Bethesda Game Studios, and part of the Starfield community will still throw a fit because you could choose your pronoun in the character creation, which is silly.
That's very true.
She says which is silly because there's so many other things to criticize Starfield for. That's very accurate.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah, what's that video? It's like with the bald guy on YouTube, like where he's saying, oh, pronouns, gender identity. Like he was just going crazy with it. He was just like yelling over that. It was funny, but yeah, I don't mind having pronouns in the game. It's like, who cares? Like, I mean, their pronouns. They're acting like that will be the death of everything when,
Yeah.
you know,
And they give you a lot of freedom in games too, right? Where you don't have to do it, you don't have to show it, like whatever. Like I mean, it's open for, like I said, everybody, right? Like that character you're creating could be exactly how you want it to be. Like it's not going to affect your storyline.
yeah, not a, and I think that, the idea of, being like, oh, you can name your character, you can name your character he, him, or whatever. Like, I mean, so what, because I think that, again, if the game is good,
Exactly.
then I mean, pronouns will never really affect anybody.
Yeah. At the
But
end.
I do, yeah, I can see why people don't like it, because, hey, when you start force feeding us all of this nonsense about being woke and how pronouns are like, oh, if you misgender me, that's like killing a person. I think that at that point in time, people will just say, if it has anything to do with identity politics, even if it has the word race in it, they're going to say, no, thank you. because I mean, it's like people kept getting hit in the face, saying how many times, like how many times should I tell you, old man, we have pronouns, and people just said, I'm not getting hit in the face anymore. I'm walking away from this. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind them, but when you start making it an issue where I have to like accept it, sorry, I have to forcefully accept it. Not even like a thing where it's like, hey, like, hey, look, hey, pizza, look, we are an LGBT based company, and we have this game. We have Dustborn. If you guys know about that game, we have Dust.
Yeah.
There are pronouns in it, like we want you to enjoy it, and we hope that these will not cause any problems. So, no, they don't have to like beg us to play it, but if the game is good, it's fun. The characters, like the characters are
Yeah, absolutely. If it's a game you're
relatable
gonna
and
spend hours in, then yeah, like more power to it. Like whatever it
like,
is.
I don't care if you put aliens in there. If the game is fun, I'll accept it, and like, hey, I will march with you. I'll march with you regardless. But if you make good products and you're a good person, well, really, if you're a good person and you make good stuff as well, like, I mean, yeah, that's like instant support, like all the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Exactly.
No,
I get,
I agree.
I get with you though. I get her point. Like, it shouldn't be an issue, and I wish that it wasn't an issue because I think that a lot of games could benefit from having good, honest feedback. And I think that because of all this stuff about being woke,
Yeah.
nowadays it's like, like JW said, everyone's like kind of just fighting each other rather than just, saying, hey, look, the
Yeah.
game is cool, but I wish you would do this, or I think that he did this might be, it might be better. Like that's what I think should be happening. Having good, healthy conversation. Avoid the politics. Like leave that stuff. Let that stuff be the last thing you talk about.
Yeah, leave that for like, somewhere else. Leave that like, in your private life. You talk I'll go out and talk to your friends.
Well, like I said, I wish a lot of these big companies, right? Like we were talking about Star Wars earlier and stuff like that, or even like Indiana Jones is a good example because I know J.W. Hunter were talking about it last time, right? Like I wish they would look at the older stuff and go like, what was the magic about this that made it so great, instead of just
They're not
trying
gonna
to
they're not
get
gonna
that.
do it.
No, I know. Instead of trying to get that cash cow and taking a name and going with it, and like you guys said, right, the last two movies you weren't really impressed with, and like we were saying about Star Wars, right, just that derail of it. It's such a shame. It's such a shame to lose that magic that they created, or even like an example I think of right now is the Goonies 2 coming out, right? Like why the fuck? Like like
Wait,
the
what? Wait,
Goonies,
wait, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
yeah.
They're making a sequel to that movie?
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like Goonies had magic. It's
Wow.
like just look at Goonies and think, okay, like what's a new story we can tell? You don't have to have Goonies 2. You could just,
Doesn't make any sense. They're
yeah,
all
no.
old.
I know. It's gonna be weird. But yeah, just a shame. And same with video
And I'm
games,
pretty
right?
sure
Like
that
look at back at your video games and like look like what like JW said, look what worked. Look at all the effort we put into this. Like how can we there are
look at like
games.
with Call of Duty. Fucking everyone was so excited when a new Call of Duty game was coming out, but now it's like, who gives a shit? Nobody cares anymore. Me, I don't. I used to be excited when I heard a new Call of Duty was coming out. I couldn't wait to play
Absolutely.
fucking zombies, let alone multiplayer. I couldn't wait for fucking zombies. Like, oh, what they're gonna talk about? What they're gonna do next?
No,
What
I
maps they're gonna have? What DLCs? What planned DLCs are they gonna have? And that was just they came out for Black Ops 6 Zombies where they added the fucking staffs and origins. That was just fucking lazy. Because they heard the game was dying and they thought if they did that, they're gonna bring everybody back, but nobody really fucking played it.
yeah, I feel like I don't know if Call of Duty just had its time and maybe it's maybe like Assassin's Creed,
That's the thing.
it just needs to take a break.
I can't believe they did that.
Oh
They did
my
that with that
god.
Wolverine game. The Insomniac Wolverine, that game got leaked and people were playing it. It's all over YouTube. It
Yep.
looks pretty fun, actually, not gonna lie. It looks really good.
What You mean recently, or when it was the alpha build that leaked?
I think it was
Like it was grayscale everywhere.
because I remember somebody was able to play like parts of like the campaign story mode. There's a part where they were fighting ninjas, like in the comic.
Oh, okay.
That part,
Oh, I
that
think
part
I
was
decided not to look at it because I didn't want to get spoiled.
like I wanted to know because I was curious. I don't really care. I just wanted to know because I wanted to be like the comic book because I like the fucking comic. I have
absolutely,
some.
yeah. Um,
And then the other thing that Pizza was talking about, how like games don't get like recognized or whatever. Like the Terminator game, Terminator Resistance, fucking great game. I've seen people play it. And it's like you're playing a fucking you're like it's like you're playing a Terminator movie. That's how good it is. But for some reason, it didn't really get that much attention, so nobody really fucking gave a shit. Because if you look at the ratings, they're pretty good. They're really good. And I keep forgetting to buy the game when it goes on sale. I should.
same here, actually.
It's one of the
So before I do the round robin, right, where you guys get your spotlight and you can talk about your promotions or anything that you have upcoming here. I'm just gonna add one last comment on the subject for ladies' point of view. So again, she was just saying, like speaking from experience, most trans people won't get mad if someone says the wrong pronoun on accident, but when it's done on purpose, it becomes a problem. When it's done on purpose, it just becomes an insult that denies a person their identity.
I mean,
I
most
actually
trans
don't
people get mad.
don't agree with
Be-
that. I think
Yeah.
she's underestimating the number of people that
Sorry,
get pissed off
I
at that.
didn't finish her whole speech yet. Just 1 second.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry. Go ahead.
When it's done on purpose, it just becomes insult that denies a person their identity, which can be really hurtful, especially because trans people face that quite a lot in a day-to-day life, and it really starts to wear you down. And she was just saying, sorry for the rant, but this is just kind of
I
personal
mean,
to
it's
me.
kind of hard to tell sometimes. So
Oh yeah, but I think there's a point there where she's saying
yeah,
it wears the person down, which I think she's right on that. But
yeah,
I think because of that, they get really sensitive about it. So I've had it happen, and I've seen it happen very often, actually, more so than just one extremist or another. So I think it happens more often than people think. That when you make a mistake, that it's taken the wrong way.
Yeah, well, yeah.
most of the times
I,
like
I
by
think
accident.
that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
cause especially on Twitter. I mean, like that's
Oh yeah, well, Taylor is a
The whole
cesspool, so sure.
that's cool.
yeah.
Where like you can say, "Oh man, I'm black and proud," and then you're gonna have someone underneath your comment post a picture of like a picture of
George
cotton
Floyd.
fields. I think that at some point in time, like
Yeah.
people are just they
The
think
internet.
people think that
It's like
they
Call
are
of Duty.
funny and that they're smart on Twitter, and so like they will make sure that you feel almost like inferior to them, which it's pointless because it's just especially with trans people. I feel like I feel like they do have it kind of rough because
Yeah.
well, they have it rough just like how the gays and lesbians had it back then, where people are just saying, "Oh, you're trans. Well, I'm going to call you this, and I'm going to misgender you because it's funny." Like, it's a shame that people think that that's going to like make their life easier or better, but it's
Yeah,
people suck.
absolutely, right.
Yeah,
And
people suck just in general.
yeah, I said,
So,
lady just took the words out of my mouth there. She's saying that's also
Recognize
very
different
true. It's
things like
just been
that.
my experience of being trans and having a lot of trans friends. At least in Europe, people are more sensitive about it. What I was gonna say, right, it could just literally be, yeah, like different areas. Like I know Canada is, gets heated about that. Obviously, the States is its own little element right
Oh
now.
yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, there's the difference of real life and internet. Absolutely, right? Like, yeah, yeah, like it does depend like where you are and the demographic you're around, and yeah. Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, like JW said, right? There's no doubt about it that there's definitely struggles, and it definitely wears a person down. Any version of bullying does, right? Yeah. Anyway, I was going to do the round robin. I think that's a good place to leave it off at. So hunting, you go first, my dude. Do you got anything planned for streaming? Do you got anything you're gonna be doing?
Nothing really. No.
No streams? No more. What was it?
No, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Maybe.
Why did I want to say it was a Star Wars game? I was trying to think of the game you mentioned last time. No, Serious Sam. Sorry, that was it. Serious Sam you were playing, right?
Oh. Yeah, I go back and forth. Like sometimes, because I started playing PC again, because the computer I had before was like really slow and I couldn't really play games.
Yeah.
So once I got a new computer, I'm able to run games like really fast, like on high settings. So I started buying like a bunch of games. I bought Serious Sam, Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
But none of
I had
those you
Team
feel like
Moderate,
streaming,
Team
or?
Fortress 2. Maybe. I don't know. I was thinking about streaming. What's it called? Fuck. Can't think. Gears of War. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool.
The Gears of War 2 campaign.
No, yeah, no, I'd like to see you play Gears because it said the ones you said on YouTube, right, were already quite old when you were playing them, so it'd be kind of
Yeah.
neat to see your newer skills.
Like fucking 13 or 14. Yeah, it was like 14 or fucking 13. Oh, 13 or 14 when I uploaded those videos. Because I used to because YouTube on Xbox had a feature where you were able to like record you're able to upload your clips on Xbox and upload it
Yeah.
to YouTube. And for some reason they fucking removed it. I don't know why. YouTube fucking sucks. But what are you gonna do?
No, until you brought that up, I totally blanked on that. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a feature back in the day too. Yeah,
I remember that.
it
Fucking sucks. What are we gonna do?
yeah, like we were saying on the
It was a lot
Minecraft.
easier. All you gotta do was click shit. You don't have to like fucking, do all that. I mean, it's easy to do it on computer, but it was like, to me, it was like a lot easier. You don't have to
No,
like fucking edit anything. All I gotta do is fucking.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The original Xbox One, they had such a great video editor on there back in the day too. I used to use just to make videos, and yeah, Xbox does some
Remember
dumb
that.
decisions
And it got
sometimes.
fucking continued. Yeah, like removing the Xbox avatars for some fucking reason. Like, come on. Like, why? Why?
Yeah.
Or the fucking when they disconnected the Microsoft Store for the Xbox 360, that pissed me off.
Yeah, just a lot of dumb choices. Um,
Or like when Rockstar disconnected online for GT Online for the last gen, like Xbox 360 and PS3. And I mean, so some of those people can't really afford fucking PS4s or Xbox One, so that's why they're really playing on fucking older consoles.
yeah,
Or that version was better, but still, what are you gonna do? Can't really, You can complain, but they're not gonna fucking give a shit. They're a
no,
multi-billion-dollar company, so why would they give a shit anyway?
no, unless there was mass comments about it or something like that. Sorry,
Yeah.
Pizza. What about you, buddy? What are you gonna be up to? We get to see you play some games online, live.
I've been trying to do it, and I said it last time that I'm gonna try and do streaming, and when I said that, I instantly just got I got hemmed up at work. But um, I don't think this week I'll be doing it. But I am coming off. I am off Friday, so what I will do on Friday night for sure is I'll be streaming something. I'll probably be playing Crash Bandicoot, just kind of having a chill, just getting back into Twitch kind of thing, and just kind of goofing around. So yeah, I will. I guess I'll put my link somewhere in the chat, like in the Discord. That way, people know where to find me. And then
Absolutely.
from there we'll just have fun on that Friday night. Just eating pizza and just talking about games and stuff.
I mean, not to put pressure on you, but I will hype the shit out of it if you stream that new Tony Hawk game when it does come out, because I'd be so fucking pumped to see you play that and just see your excitement or your disappointment. I mean, we never know how it might go with those kind of new games.
Yeah, no, I do. I plan on playing that game for sure because I wasn't expecting to see it. So the
Yeah,
fact that it's coming out, hey, yeah, I'm definitely ready for it. I'm already hyped up about it. So whenever I'm getting it day one.
Oh yeah, buddy. Like I said, if you do stream that game, I'll hype the crap out of it because yeah, that'll be a good one to watch just to see your opinions and how you feel about it. And then of course my wonderful co-host Mr. JW. What do you got planned for the world?
Uh,
Nothing.
much. I have multiple videos coming up. Yeah, nothing. I wanted to do this joke, but I was like, it's too easy. I have much actually. I have multiple videos of various game, meaning I'm editing Avowed, I'm editing Indiana Jones, I'm editing Diablo. I have a lot of videos in the works, and some writing too coming up. Like I'm still working on the editing the writing video we did on Indiana Jones. But more importantly, tomorrow, Feb 26th, will be I will be streaming multiple demos because it's the Steam Next Fest, meaning a bunch of indie games and games are being propped up and have demos ready for you to try out, so you can wishlist them and
Oh,
buy them when they come out.
that's
It's
cool.
a great event. Yep. And so tomorrow I'll be streaming a bunch of demos that we will all look at together. And
Oh,
if since I'm addicted to Marvel Rivals, if there's enough time, I'll play Marvel Rivals also, and maybe some Avowed because I do want to see the next phase. But it's mostly for the demos tomorrow. So
oh, that's so exciting! I can't wait. So I love when you play. Like, we had a personal message about it, but I love when JW plays the indie games. I don't know. I just said I find his humor just really shines in those videos. So yeah, that'll be good. That'll be a good stream to watch. And yeah,
there you go.
Maybe.
on that note, guys, as always, I know you're gonna make fun of me, but it is time for supper. So I will have to put the end to the podcast.
The supper again.
See, I got the hey there, hi there,
Oh,
ho there for the intro, and it's time for supper for the the outro.
and that's called good planning.
But yeah, I appreciate it, guys. You coming on tonight. Thank you, Hunty, for coming back. It's nice to see you again. And Pizza,
Problem.
it's always great to see you pop on, buddy. I'm glad you're able to make some time.
I had nothing better to do.
Well, it was nice to hear your
Yeah,
guys' opinions
absolutely.
on everything. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys all next
Yeah.
time.
Sounds good.
Till next time. Bye.
And then, of course, because we always got to end the podcast off with mindfuls. I feel like this is like the mindful hour. We're just me, myself. But sorry, I had one here from 2-6, but I also had one from Lady. Last comment she had here was, "Thanks for streaming. I had a great time. You guys are great chemistry, which makes this really." Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's super kind of you, and thank you for sharing all your thoughts. Like I said, I always try my best. Bless their souls, but sometimes even Cheyenne will laugh at it. It is hard for Mindful to get a word in, so you might hear me go like, huh. You know, something I have to get better with. I have to be little more assertive when I want to get that point in there. God damn it! But no, those guys are absolutely fantastic, and every guest we've had is just amazing. If you weren't aware of the objective of this, it's basically just to make sure everybody's getting a chance to shine. You know what I mean? If you're a small content creator, if you big graphic designs, like I don't really care what your side hustle is, you know what I mean? This is just that moment for people to get to know you, recognize you, and hopefully you can grow a following, right? Or if you're just looking to make more friends or more gamers out there, then hopefully that's the option that's being made to you too. You know, maybe you'll hop on, they'll be like, wow, I really like this person had to say, and oh, they play this game, you know, I want to play with them, I want to go, have a further conversation with them or whatever the case might be. So yeah, at the end of the day, right, that's my goal. It's just to make sure that everyone gets heard, everyone, gets a chance to be in the spotlight. And it's hard to promote yourself, right? So this is kind of that free promotion time. And then I always tie in some gaming subjects in there too, right? So it's not so dry. But 2-6, you did redeem Be Tender Pig. And I feel like we haven't been cheesy enough together, so I'm gonna target you, my dude. Like 2-6 was saying in Discord, right? We got to know each other about 2 or 3 years ago, and 2-6, and no one's ever told you this before, my guy. You are the most chill, awesome dude I Cheyenne's very going, oh my god. No, but like you really are. You're such a chill and awesome guy to like just have a conversation with. You have such a dry like humor that like sometimes I don't know if you're just being super sarcastic or if you if you are being genuine, but I love it. I love it. I love the element of not knowing. And it's just like, like I don't know, like I could play a game with you and like we could just talk about like pretty much anything and it just always feels comfortable. And I really like that. I like the vibe that you set up with that. On top of that, like you were saying, like, it's been 2 to 3 years and I have honestly never seen you say anything that's like out there, wild, crazy, anything like that. I
Enjoy
like that you
the
just stoner
enjoy.
vibe, that I sit out there. Um, yeah, I loved playing games with you. I love playing games with you. I can't emphasize that enough. It's just you're never like rude or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like some people, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a great gamer, right? There's definitely Minecraft yesterday couldn't climb up the goddamn waterfall, right? But you never lose your cool. You're always just about the moment, right? You're laughing, you're entertained, or whatever the case might be, right? So yeah, if you guys haven't played with 2-6, please, please, please reach out to him. He is one hell of a guy to play with. And if you get that, honor, I'm going to put it as, to play a game with him for an hour or whatever it might be. It'll definitely be a very enjoyable experience. Thank you, lady. I appreciate it. And then for me, Mindful is just going to be doing his editing as always, right? And then I will stream an hour tomorrow from the PlayStation because PlayStation is the one that can do the YouTube, so that's why I always go with PlayStation. I could do on the Chromebook too. I have the Diablo 1 that I could go back into, but I usually do PS4 games. And then I will see about Friday. That one's always kind of up in the air. I might not though, because Thursday night, if you aren't aware, Fun Dead requested a community event. We're gonna play Mad Streets, which is a very weird game. If you've never seen it, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's like ragdoll physics and a beat 'em up mechanic, and then they also, I guess it's kind of almost like Fusion Frenzy. They also kind of throw in some random like stuff to do, like throwing food at each other and stuff like that. So yeah, very weird game. Very interested to play that with everybody. And for him, it's gonna unlock an achievement that he really wants, so then he'll have 100% of the game. Oh, 2-6. No worries, buddy. I said you are a fantastic dude, and you deserve more credit for that. It is, lady. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to stream that one. It's so stupid. Gang Beast, there. That's a great example of how it'll be like those kind of ragdoll mechanics. But yeah, you guys, I hope you have a fantastic evening. Um, I usually want to rate on a podcast, but I'm usually on Restream, so I'm not the best with rating. So, I'm sorry, I'm a bastard. I won't be rating today. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and thank you again for all the kind words and for tuning in tonight. Have a great night, everybody.